in to the Coaches Conversation here on this Saturday morning. Our last Saturday before taking a couple of weeks for the holidays that are coming up. And this happens to be one of the later times that we've ever done our final Coaches Show of a year. Of course, we'll be back in 2 weeks, but it'll be a new year by then. But that calendar just fell very weirdly. School is out. Got out yesterday, and lots of games have been played across the area. And with so many girls and boys scores and things of that nature, I'm just going to kind of give you the highlights. First of all, in girls on the Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard, Maryville Christian 43, Riverdale 41. Very close nail-biter there. Also, it was Blackman defeating CPA 45-36. These are all girls now. Eagleville girls beat Friendship Christian 37-29. Central Magnet loses to Westmoreland 32-30. Now, this not just last night, but some games this week. An inter-county rivalry between Oakland and Stewart's Creek on Tuesday goes to Oakland in girls 39-33, and then White County defeats Oakland last night 73-44. Central Magnet over Cascade 66-52. Riverdale girls got a victory 51-40 on Thursday and 54-19 on Tuesday. So a couple of wins on the week for the Riverdale Lady Warriors. Rockvale, a 6-point win over Eazell Harding, 47-41. Shelbyville defeats Siegel 69-37. Eagleville had a win over Community 53-49 earlier in the week as well. Let's see. Going to some of the boys' highlights from the week. Marshall County over MTCS 81-74. Again, boys' scores here for you. 54-42. Eagleville defeats Friendship Christian. And Laverne and Brentwood. The win goes to Brentwood 76-66 last night, as a matter of fact. It was Lead Academy beating Smyrna 61-53 on Tuesday. And Union County, Kentucky over Smyrna 60-54 yesterday. Stewart's Creek defeats Oakland 76-58 on Tuesday in boys. Blackman over Shelbyville 68-26. Blackman 7-1 on the season so far. Cascade defeated Central Magnet 67-38. Rossview over Riverdale 70-69 in overtime yesterday afternoon, and Centennial defeats Oakland 67-64. Part of the Adidas Classic going on at Riverdale. 70-54, Eazell Harding victory over Rockvale. Siegel defeats Shelbyville 52-46, and that one was on Monday. See if we can find a few others here. Stewart's Creek with a big 83-37 win over Grundy County. Eagleville boys 9-1, 61-37. The victory over Community this week. 63-59, Siegel downs Warren County. Franklin beat Siegel 61-57 yesterday. They'll play tonight in the last game of the Adidas Classic at Riverdale. And those just a few of the highlights. Rockvale wins over Green Hill and Mount Juliet this week. So decent week there for Rockvale. So the Adidas Classic is going to keep some of our boys coaches either on the phone or away this morning, because they start at 10 o'clock, and that's going on all day today. 10 o'clock for the first tip, and the last tip will be at 8:30 tonight. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games tonight, and they played 8 yesterday. So a busy day. Laverne will be playing today, Stewart's Creek, then Oakland, then Riverdale, then Siegel. So if you go over there about 4 o'clock, you can watch several of our local boys teams participating in that. Okay, that is a look at the Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard. It's boys basketball here this morning. We're going to kind of jumble things up a little bit. John's going to kick us off with Riverdale conversation. Then I'll be back to talk Smyrna, Blackman, Laverne. Then John back in for Oakland, Stewart's Creek, Rockvale. And then we'll have Siegel at 10:45 with Danny Brewer, Eagleville, then MTCS Cougar Corner here this morning. So we've got the coffee going. We've got the donuts from Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro with the sausage biscuits, and we're ready to tackle another Saturday morning on the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner.
Franklin's Printworks has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer, everything from business cards, brochures, booklets to banners. My name is Jeff Carlton. I handle sales and marketing for Franklin's Printworks. We hear a lot people who have been working with printers on the internet, had issues, and they know that if we're working with someone local, that A, they know where to find us, and B, they know that we'll take care of it because we have to take care of our neighbors. Our website is franklinsprinting.org.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
We're at Rick's Barbecue talking with Anne-Marie Brents, who says they're ready to feed your entire crew with the family pack.
It's a pound of pork or any of our pulled meats, and then you get two 16-ounce sides, and then you get a bag of chips, which are plain or barbecue, and then the buns come with it, and then you get one of our drink choices, which is either a 2-liter of one of our sodas or a half-gallon of one of our teas.
And don't forget the famous Rick's Loaded Baked Potato.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds.
Let Rick's Barbecue do the cooking, 212 Warrior Drive.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose. You'd do anything to protect your kids. I'm State Farm Agent Celeste Middleton, and it's important to protect them with life insurance. I can make it easy and affordable for you to protect your family.
What's your next dream? Paying off your credit card? Remodeling your kitchen? Whatever your dreams, they take planning. I'm State Farm Agent Dana Womack. Let's work together to come up with a plan to make those savings goals happen. Call me at 615-900-0877.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee.
At First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, we show up and have been for 150 years. Let us show you how we do it. I'm John Dietrich, Senior Vice President, Commercial Lender at the Murfreesboro Gateway Office. Let me have the honor of helping you and your family achieve its financial dreams. I am a lifelong resident of this community dedicated to making it better.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the Coach's Show brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com. John Dinkins here with we're talking with head coach of the Riverdale Warriors, Michael Voss. And Michael, a lot of great things happening at Riverdale, including a lot of construction. I know that's you've been with that for about 2 years now. But tell me a little bit about this Adidas Classic, because I think that's an exciting chance to see some teams around the area.
So it's one of the things about 7 years ago, pretty early, right before COVID hit, we put this thing together, and it was originally intended to just be about a 4 or 16 deal and bring some of the better boys teams into some of the better Middle Tennessee boys teams into one place and play. And what we've ended up doing is this year it's a 2-day deal with a 16-team field. And if you look, we've got 4 of the top 8 teams right now that are ranked in 4A basketball. We've got Ensworth, we've got Brentwood Academy, Science Hill and Bearden from East Tennessee have come to play in this. Grundy County, who's got one of the better players in the state at their level. And then you've got some Rutherford County teams in Siegel and us and Laverne and Oakland and Stewart's Creek all playing at the same place. And so it was a really good day of basketball yesterday. We had, for the most part, very competitive games. And today, hopefully that trend's going to kind of stick.
It's funny how something small turns out to be such a big event, really. That probably wasn't your intention to begin with, but it was mainly, I guess, just to get some playing time around the Christmas break.
Well, it was, and a chance to get a couple more home games because those are harder and harder to get. Last year we actually ended up having 3 days worth of games, and we had a field that was big enough that we actually had to farm some games out to we played some games over at Siegel as well. The field got that big, which was too big for us to manage. So the thing that we decided this year was we're just going to find 16 teams, the first 16 to sign up. Like, we're going to host them here. We'll just have 2 all-day events. And one of the things we talked with these teams about was we made them commit to both days, whereas a lot of times in Classic, you'll get the team come in for one day or another one. We talked it up, and we said, look, if you want to come, we're going to make this a 2-day event. You got to commit to it. And we ended up with what I think is one of the best fields in the state.
Yeah, it's some real exciting teams in there. You had an exciting game yesterday in the overtime loss. Tell us a little bit about that game, and then I want to talk about the season, because what I'm seeing is some improvement from your guys in a real close overtime loss yesterday.
Well, we lost to Rossview yesterday in overtime. We had a chance a couple of times to not necessarily completely salt it away, but we did miss some free throws late that would have helped us flip the game. And it's one of those things where it's a learning experience. We did find some things out about us yesterday. We did some things offensively a little bit differently than what we've been doing. I thought we were much more selective and played with a lot of purpose yesterday. And in doing that, our shot selection was the best that it's been all year. And because of that, we shot the highest percentage we've shot all year. It's amazing how we've talked with our guys about we want to make sure we're getting good shots. And, with young guys trying to find their way, we've taken some bad ones along the way. But yesterday I thought was our most complete game on the offensive end. And then defensively, Rossview they've got a kid in the Rose kid that is one of the better players in the state. And we did some things defensively that we have not done before to try and take him out of the game, or at least limit his touches. You're not going to completely take a scorer like him out of the game, but you want to try and limit what they do. In regulation, we held him to about 7 or 8 points below his average. He scored 5 in the overtime, which was a big 5 for them, obviously. And again, we found some things out about us defensively as well. The one thing that we got exposed on was rebounding. Like, they kind of got us there because they were a bigger team. They were a little bit more physical than we were. But we figured out some things about us yesterday that hopefully is going to carry us into district play.
And I don't know that anybody doesn't know that how young you are, and a lot of sophomores, and it's a battle to get them to play 4 quarters, and that's kind of what you're looking for, I think. And yesterday you kind of did that, but then there's lapses, and free throws and those kind of things. It's hard for those young kids, to put that all together for 4 quarters. But it seems like, and I was looking at some of your schedule and some of the games, they have gotten closer and closer, and you've been in pretty much every game that you've played in. And is that a fact that because of the sometimes not putting the 4 quarters together, that you have a little lapse and then they get a lead, you come back and that kind of thing? Is that kind of the story to the season so far?
Well, we talked about it yesterday. I feel like we've talked about it in every game. Like, we had a little stretch yesterday where we were down 13-10 at the end of the first quarter, and then the first minute and a half of the second quarter, they go on a 7-0, 8-0 run. They got it to 21-10, and it was the worst minute and a half that we played all day yesterday. And when you go back and look at it, like, you can look and see where we lost the game and what we did. It was the only minute and a half where we really settled for shots. We took the 3 worst shots we took all day, we took in that stretch. And it led to layups and 3 balls for them on the other end, and it ended up being that thing that we couldn't overcome. So when you talk about it, when we looked at it, to us, we put together 30 really good minutes, but the 2 bad minutes is what got us. And even in the overtime, I thought we played really well in the overtime. We had chances to win that game. We just couldn't quite finish it.
It's a question too, I guess, Michael, of just getting over that hump. Get that win and finish a game, and that is so difficult for young kids to really realize that they're in the game and they can finish it, but sometimes they just come up short.
Well, and that's what I thought. We had the lead with 10 seconds left. Ross, you had the ball, and we had what I thought was a really, really tough foul called on us on their best player with us being up 1. He went to the line with 3 seconds left to make 2 free throws, and we got a shot off at the rim, but it was a half-court heave that almost went in. It's just one of those things we got to learn from. And, breaking through the wall is the hardest thing to do. It always has been. It always will be. Everybody wants to win, but sometimes it's just getting that first win. I know this. When we get the first win, like we're going to get several of them at a time, we just got to learn how to get through that wall and get through that hump.
We're talking to Michael Valtz, head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. And, Michael, the schedule today, I'm sure you've got a slate of games, and it's going to be a long day for you, I would think. Sometimes it's hard to be what you'd say, the tournament director in these kind of things.
Well, we're kicking it off here in about 20 minutes, or in about, 50 minutes. We've got Franklin and Laverne right out of the gate.
Oh, wow.
Which, if you look, Laverne's a state tournament team from last year that's got some key pieces back. Franklin right now is a top 5 team in the state, and then after that game, you've got Bearden and Independence, which is 2 of the best teams in the state. It's great matchup after great matchup. Science Hill and Centennial play today. Brentwood Academy and Hillsborough playing, which if you haven't seen Hillsborough play, they're an absolutely fantastic team. And then Stewart's Creek Brentwood is our 4:00 game. Rossview and Oakland is 5:30, and then we play Innsworth at 7, followed by Grundy and Siegel at 8:30. And when you look at that slate of teams and you look at those games, again yesterday, for the most part, games were decided by about 5 or 6 points or less. Every single one of them was a competitive game. Every single one of them was a pretty good game. And again, hopefully that trend is going to stick today, because I think we've got a really, really good slate of games here.
Michael, that is a really good slate of basketball games. A person can spend the whole day at Riverdale, and they have them a really nice time for a good little price too.
Yeah, it's $10 to get in. It's valid all day. And the thing about it is I think you can go anywhere else in the state today and you're not going to find a better field. And that's, again, what we strive to put together early. That's why we do this thing. I've already had about half the teams commit to coming back for next year when we have this. So it's going to hopefully continue to kind of be what it is.
What's the plan for Christmas break? I know you'll give them a few days to kind of celebrate Christmas, and then after Christmas, what's the plan?
Well, we're going to take, after today, we're going to take 4 days off all the way through Christmas. And we'll come back in on the 26th and practice. And then we play the 27th and the 28th over at Centennial High School. We've got Franklin on the first day over there, and then we've got Hickman County, who is a double-A state tournament team from last year on the second day. So between Innsworth, Franklin, and Hickman County, we've got 3 really, really good opponents and 3 really tough games coming up for us. But, again, we've been growing every game, and that's the thing that we want to continue to do, is we're going to kind of continue to just grow over this break, so that when we get back from Christmas, like the one thing that we're going to be is we're going to be tested.
That's for sure.
We're going to have played everybody, and I think if you look at our schedule, with this group, it's been one of the hardest schedules in the state. But again, we've gotten better and we've handled some things well as we've gone along. Now we just got to find ways to continue to improve.
Well, Michael, have a great day today in the tournament, and you guys have a nice Christmas. Okay, say hi to April for me.
I will. Merry Christmas, John. Y'all have a great one.
Yes, sir. That's Michael Voss, head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. We're going to be talking some Smyrna basketball, but before, I need to tell you that this portion of the show is brought to you by J. Mullins Jewelry, a family-owned and operated business treating clients like family since 1938. Jewelry design, repair, and a wide selection of great jewelry pieces. Online at mullinsjewelry.com. We'll be right back.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
How about a fix for your sweet tooth? Donut Country is open 24 hours a day to cure your cravings. They've been serving up the freshest donuts in Murfreesboro since 1978. There's just something different about donuts from Donut Country. Bo and Cindy Davis and their wonderful staff will greet you with a smile, and you'll see all donuts aren't created equal. Fresh donuts anytime you want them 24/7 at Donut Country on Memorial down from Clark. And they're open each morning on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Check out their Facebook page for specials and promotions. Nothing else compares to Donut Country. Open 24 hours.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. For more than 30 years, my team and I have worked hard to help injured people throughout Middle Tennessee. Over that time, we've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. And if we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the Law Offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
If you're a homeowner with a quarter acre or several, Las Casas Feed Supply focuses on premium feeds and dog foods you won't find in the box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
Family owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, inviting you to stop by, visit, and enjoy the country.
Customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Las Casas Feed is also your place for local milk from the MTSU Dairy on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We are back here on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Sir Pizza, whose 3 Murfreesboro locations offer a huge selection of mouthwatering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and wings. Order your favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. Time to talk Smyrna boys basketball. Omar Smith joins us here this morning. Coach, how are things?
Going well. Enjoying a little holiday basketball right now.
Yeah. We talk about the holidays and, getting 2 weeks off at Christmas and all this kind of stuff, but basketball coaches and players don't get much.
Yeah, that's not a thing for us. Yesterday everybody was getting ready to leave school, and I had a lady ask, what are you doing for the break? And I said, well, I don't get a break. We're going to play, and then, we'll, get a little bit of a break, and then we'll play again beginning of January, and then we're right back at school. So not much of a break.
Yeah. That's just what you sign up for as a basketball coach.
Exactly.
You guys have been on quite the little streak here. Won several basketball games in a row over McGavock, Overton, Riverdale, and Valor before the last couple of days, some close games and 2 or 3 possessions against Lead Academy and Union County, Kentucky in that Southern Bank battle.
Yeah, the Lead Academy game, we played them this summer at team camp, so we knew what they had, and it's funny, the game kind of started the same way it did this summer. We jumped on them, and we just kind of lost our focus. And, they've got some good players over there, and so we kind of struggled to, fight through that. And then, of course, last night up here, we tournament games are a little tricky when you go out of town. You're seeing different reps in a different environment. So we kind of put ourselves behind the 8 ball to start the game. We got a technical for, dunking in the layup line. And so, of course, they hit both free throws and they come out and they score something. We're down 4-0 before we even touch the basketball. And I think it kind of shocked our guys a little bit. And it took them a while to get started. And, once they woke up, they made it the game. We got it I think we got it down to 3 at one point and just couldn't quite get over that hump.
Where is this tournament or classic that you're in being played?
So the tournament is actually, to give you an idea, it's in Elkton, Kentucky.
Oh.
But to give you an idea, we're staying in Clarksville.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
20-minute drive from our hotel to the school.
Yeah, I mean it's Elkton's not that far over the county line, so
yeah, they just don't have any hotels in Elkton.
Yeah, that is true. I said county line, state line, obviously, but and those are also opportunities that you as coaches kind of use to do a little team bonding and that kind of thing. So I mean it's a good experience for the kids.
Oh yeah, of course the guys all bring their PlayStations and their Xboxes, and so they have little basketball tournaments going on, and then we'll, we went and ate breakfast this morning downstairs, and, after our first game today, we'll go have a little late lunch together and just hang out before our last game before we're heading back home.
Now, do you play 2 games today?
So we'll have 2 games today. So we've got Russellville today at 11:30, and then depending on, win or lose and all that, we'll play either Fort Campbell or Montgomery Central. So we'll play one of those 2 as well.
Gotcha. And that'll wrap up your before Christmas. And after Christmas, are you in some kind of New Year's deal too?
Yeah, so after Christmas, we're going down to Ray County. We've got Livingston Academy down there, Tellico Plains, and Ray County. I guess it's like a pool play type thing because there's a possible championship game as well, but I'm assuming that's depending on how your first 3 games go. So we could play 4 games down there also.
I got you. So that has become kind of popular when putting on tournaments or classics. The downfall of tournaments is maybe you don't get as many games. Classics, right. You get so many guaranteed. But now this, a hybrid, if you will, with, like a tournament does kind of create a lot of interest. Right.
Like I said, it's something different. You got to talk to people who've got kids that play baseball and softball, and they do those little pool play things, and you have a championship on Sunday, so it's that kind of deal. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Just, again, for us getting to get out of Middle Tennessee and see some different teams and different styles, different officiating, different atmospheres. I think that's a very, very big plus for us to do that.
We're talking Smyrna boys basketball. Omar Smith joining us here this morning, and Coach, you kind of give us an idea, because tournaments and classics and Hall of Fame and all of that kind of thing, there you have a certain number of games in a season that you can play. Does this, and I know this is the case in baseball and softball, for instance, but tournaments and classics, do you get a certain number? How does that count against the number of games you play, and et cetera?
So basically, a tournament counts as 2 games. So regardless of how many, so even though we're playing 2 games today, or 3 games over this weekend, it technically counts as 2 games towards our allotted amount of games we can play. So, you can see, I think Ray County, for example, last year they played about 35 games. They played in different classics and tournaments.
It's it's kind of interesting, and that's some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on in the spring, I guess, when you're putting together your schedule for the next year.
Oh yeah, so you got to sit down and you write down your district games, because obviously those have to be played, and then you start subtracting them from that point, and then you just go from there.
Yeah. So also in that same vein, when you're kind of talking about putting together a schedule, when do you put that together? Is it like March, April?
So, funny story. You asked that. People know that my background had been middle school.
Uh-huh.
So we, when I was at Rockville, we would have to wait for the county to send us the county schedule, and we'd get that around mid to late April. And so it's funny, I remember at the end of my first season here at Smyrna, Coach Birdwell was actually the first person to reach out to me. We lost to Blackman on a Saturday in the region tournament, and I walk into school Monday morning, and Coach Birdwell was emailing me about playing the next year. So I was like, okay, this is pretty quickly. I don't have time to wait. And so, I mean, it comes as soon as we're done. Teams are already emailing and calling about scheduling the next year. So it's pretty quickly. Our schedule's normally done for the most part by spring break each year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it would be pretty early. And I guess a couple of things that made me think about that. One is next year you'll have even more non-district games to plan for.
We're going to have a lot. We were, talking to Coach Wordman and Coach Voss and Rutland. We were having that discussion and trying to figure out what that's going to look like because, like I said, that district schedule is going to be so small. We're going to have to find a lot of games. And so hopefully we can get something set up with, everybody in the counties playing each other at least once. And I think that'll help and take away some of that stress of having to schedule all those games.
Yeah, certainly will. The other that I wanted to ask you about, too, is sometimes you go to a tournament or a classic and you don't return. Maybe it becomes a tradition, that you go every year. So yeah. I guess you're always looking for experiences like that, and maybe every 2 years you take, an out-of-state trip or things like that. Is that kind of your philosophy on putting that together?
Yeah, I kind of like for the guys to see, one of the things people, it seems like all the kids in Rutherford County know each other. They see each other all the time. They play AAU together. And so for me, I like for them to go somewhere else and just, see something different and see guys you've never seen before and, playing in different atmospheres. And so you come to Kentucky and it just looks different than being in Tennessee. Even, where we played last night, it's a smaller school, but, you can see the community involvement and how everybody in the community is there. And so having our guys get to see that type of thing is I think it's just good to see something different.
Yeah. And I'm trying to tie a lot of this together, and there's kind of a rhyme or reason to it. When you go to support the Smyrna Bulldogs, for instance, on a Tuesday or a Friday night, and you buy your ticket and all that kind of thing, that's what gives these guys this type of experience because, it's very important to be able to try to do these things, but it also costs money to do those. So,
for sure, you're paying for, 4, 5, 6 hotel rooms. You're paying for a bus, a meal or two where the guys are not having to pay for it out of pocket. So, yeah, fundraising is a big thing. And, of course, like you said, the more people we can get at the games and get those gates up, that's definitely a big deal for sure.
And hence the reason you want to play teams that maybe aren't in your district, especially next year when you still have some in-county, because you're going to draw from in-county maybe right. better than you're going to draw playing in Overton out of Nashville, for instance.
Right. And I've had that conversation as well. Some of those, we'll probably pull back on some of those games against those metro teams just because you don't have those crowds. Whereas, if we're hosting the Riverdale or hosting the Blackman, not only those parents are going to come, the kids are going to come as well because, again, they all know each other. They play other sports against each other, and they're related or, whatever the case may be. And so there's a little bit more interest in those games. So, yeah, it's something we'll definitely look at for next year.
Omar, I got really philosophical on you, and I didn't mean to this morning, but it's kind of interesting. I did want to point out Jan Kinzer has really been coming on strong for you. He had 20 in the win over Riverdale, 27, and 7 rebounds in the win over Valor. And, he had, 16, I think, and then 21. So he's in the high teens or 20s there for you.
He is. He's one of the kids. I told the guys last night, if you all want to figure out what consistency looks like, you look at him. He's the type of kid. He's got a really high GPA. The kid, we don't have issues in the hallways with him. I think he goes to work. He's just a very consistent kid, and he's always thinking about, he's thinking ahead. And, he's already starting to talk about what college is going to look like and, whether or not he's playing basketball and how that's going to work out. He's just, he's a very mature kid. He's always has been, and now it's starting to come to fruition for him, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, and it's probably also really good for the rest of your players to see, and some of those underclassmen, and to know that hard work does pay off.
Yeah, I mean, and even to the point, I mean, little things like this morning, I told the guys to be downstairs for breakfast at 8:15. He beat me downstairs. So, just little things. I always give them examples of people like Arion Carter, who they've seen. And so now he's just another kid that we'll just continue to use and have guys say, hey, look at him. If you got questions, follow him, see what he does, and figure it out and go from there.
Pretty cool that Arion Carter is going to be playing tonight for a spot in the Final Four in the college playoffs, and just a really cool story there too. But Omar, I guess I'll let you hop off here. I want to wish you and the family and all the Smyrna folks a very Merry Christmas.
You have a Merry Christmas as well.
All right. Omar Smith joining us here this morning on the Coaches Show, which is brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, the largest, most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com.
Hi, I'm Lee Colvin, your Edward Jones financial advisor. And while you've heard the saying, slow and steady wins the race, that same concept can be applied to long-term investing. Investing a little bit at a time on a regular basis can really add up. We call this systematic investing, and though it doesn't guarantee a profit or prevent a loss, it's a way to take advantage of market volatility instead of enduring it. Give me a call, Lee Colvin, at 615-907-7056. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Insurance should be simple, not complicated. That's why at Rayburn Insurance, Agent Rick Hull cuts through the jargon and helps you understand your options clearly. He's committed to finding the right coverage that fits your unique needs and budget. Their team has been a trusted partner in the community since 1973. Ready to make insurance easy? Get with Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. He's ready to help you get the protection you deserve.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom design jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
Craig's Tax Service is located just off Memorial on Heritage Park Drive. You can contact us at 890-2233.
It makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We are proud to support all Rutherford County student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. With over 2 decades of experience, our ASC certified master technicians are experts in both foreign and domestic vehicles, ensuring accurate diagnosis and timely, cost-effective repairs. From oil changes to major engine and transmission repairs, we've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly, mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
We are back on the Coaches Show, brought to you by State Farm agents Andy Womack, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Ron Reeves, and Emerson Williams. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Barry Wertman joins us this morning. We're going to talk some Blackman boys basketball. You're a Ron Reeves fan. Ron Reeves a great dude, isn't he?
Ron Reeves is a big-time dude. I love him.
Yeah.
Of course, his son played for us and just such a great supporter of high school athletics and great family.
You know, he always we have great conversations. Every now and then he'll bring dinner, to one of the games, especially tournament time, for us. And, it's good to have those kinds of folks. Barry, there aren't that many people who are just fans, period, anymore.
Yeah, you're right. The basketball junkies that go to all the games, those days, that's not what it used to be. But he's sure one of them, and he's my State Farm agent. See, I'm a State Farm agent too. Takes good care of me.
And you go some places and there are mainstays, and I look at your bench and I see your assistant coaches, your uncle. I mean, everybody who has just been there. You expect to see those people at Blackman boys games.
Yeah. I think that continuity for our program is very important in any program. So that's good, and we got some good loyal fans and teachers that come to all the games, and so that's awesome for our program.
I even remember your principal, working the scorer's table, back in the day. So, and got great support there too with maybe the just really solid folks who were there to back you up, at administration.
They really are.
Coach, 7-1 on the season. Great season going so far, and I think the only loss was Independence, and was it 2 overtimes?
2 overtime loss, 8-point lead with 1:42 to go. And we got a really nice team.
Yeah.
I love our team. It's a team that plays well together and shares it and has fun, and we might be as good defensively as we've been in a while. So we bring a lot of pieces. Got a great backcourt, so really nice team. But that Independence loss, I've never been a big believer that you learn things from losses and those type of things. But I'll say this, boy, our team left there. It was a high level basketball game, double overtime between 2 really good teams that were playing at a high level, and that's something our team is. From the film session, we watched it every possession of it. We just grew from it. And I think there's a lot of take from that game that's grown our team. So I've learned something a little bit. I just hate those games. They stick with me. I think about them forever. But that one's maybe because it's so early. I've been able to grow from it, and we never want to accept losing. But that was double overtime loss. I think it's in a ways made us identify some things that we needed to do, time and score, and coming out of timeout possessions, a lot of things. But it's been a great year, 7-1, like you said, and guys are playing well, playing with spirit, playing with joy, having fun. The walkthroughs are enjoyable. Everything's enjoyable. And of course, winning is fun. But more than that, our team is just it's sort of back. We had a decade of just great chemistry and togetherness and something bigger than basketball, and the leadership of Christian Johnson and Garrison Eady and all the guys has made this a lot of fun. And of course, I got 2 head coaches that are former head coaches that are really on our staff. We don't have a head coach; we just have a coaching staff, and Isaiah Phillips and Kurt Bell that's just made this it's a really, really fun place to be when you walk on the practice floor each day.
Yeah, Kurt's been there with you for a long time, and of course I was around when Isaiah was playing, so and it's good to see the solid staff you've got there. We did see you guys play Brentwood, and boy, Brentwood's got a really good basketball team too. I mean, you're Independence, Brentwood, there are others, but these are teams that have just as good of a shot as anybody else of playing in the Murphy Center.
We've had an unbelievable schedule. We always try to play Bruce Stewart was so good to me about 30 years ago, and when he spent a lot of time just visiting with me, and one of the things talking about is the importance of putting together a schedule. And the schedule's got to fit your talent level, and there's a lot of things that go in, I think, to a good schedule. We knew we would be good, but you still got to be smart about it. And but the schedule we put together could spook you a little bit, because you could play well and be 1-7 instead of 7-1. But I thought that our games against Centennial and Independence and Beach and Brentwood, and those are just high quality basketball teams, all state tournament caliber teams. And then the Father Ryan Field after Christmas is really good, and you come back and you get Stewart's Creek and Laverne. So it's a nice test to our team. I did feel like if things didn't go well in the spring when I built the schedule, our team could handle it. But I thought that last year, and we got knocked back a little bit. So you really got to, schedule is important. And I think it's helped us to this point. We'll see what it does moving forward.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned last year, because there were frustrations along the way, I think, but it's this same group of guys that seem to have learned from those tough times this year, and it's helped in this team's growth, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, nobody can overcome the multiple injuries, and I thought that hurt us last year, but we made a decision early January to go with some younger guys, and that's never easy for your chemistry, but we're getting a return on that investment with that, and these guys have really grown, and so
you have to think about you have to look down the road a little bit as a head coach.
Well, we've always tried to reward older guys that stayed in the program. It's hard to beat out older guys because
right.
And for the most part, we've been able to be old, and last year we just had to make a decision there, and it's never fun, never easy.
Sure.
You don't want that, but that sometimes you got to do what's best for the program. And I thought that's great. That helped grow our team, and we won a district championship, and beat the top 5 team in the state twice in about 11 days in Siegel, and won a district championship, and
that's a tougher year for you.
That's right. It was fun. Got to 20 wins, and that's important to us. And so I thought all that led into a really nice spring in the weight room and a confidence. And so we got a nice team. That doesn't necessarily mean it'll go forward. Basketball is a challenging deal because you play Tuesday, Friday, maybe a Saturday. So it's a challenging deal to keep your team sharp and on edge, and that's what we're going to try to attempt to do with Team 25.
You can see Barry Workman's with us this morning, Blackman boys basketball coach. I'm going to pick one of your guys, for instance, Flowers. Playing with so much more confidence, it seems, this year. Not that he wasn't a confident player, but it's just at another level.
Well, Braden's a really good basketball player. He does so many things that you don't identify. We don't have a lot of dribblers. Garrison, him, and Braden takes good care of the ball, escapes with it. We ask him to do a lot of things, and I thought he did a lot of those things last year as a sophomore. That's really challenging to do, and you're seeing him improve and get better. One thing he's done is gotten stronger. He's added some things to his game. He's a basketball junkie, as I've said before. His dad's a coach, and he's grown up in the game. He has a lot of instincts and intangibles that make his game really unique. But he's always been a really good shooter. He's a little bit streaky, but he's always been a really good shooter. He's always been a nice, especially when the floor is broken on the break. He's a great passer. He's become a sneaky good on-ball defender. So he's good. But we're really big on getting really good shots. If we can't score it early in the first 6 in transition, we're a team that we'd love to shoot it on two ball reversals, but when you're playing the Beaches and the Brentwoods and the Centennials, that doesn't always happen. So most teams yield and will take an ill-advised. I'd say most teams. Some teams will yield and take an ill-advised, and it'll lead to bad possessions. And we're just our guys are too mentally tough, and shooting's not an equal opportunity employer in our program. We want the best shooters to shoot it, the best screeners to screen, the best post feeders to post feed. So we expect Braden to take and make shots, and 8 of 9 yesterday was awesome. But if you'll watch him, boy, he let the game come to him. It was out of offense, and he had a really nice play at the end of the quarter. He created space off a flat ball screen and made a big shot. But for the most part, boy, he got a one more from Michael Bass. He got a nice somebody was heavy helping on our high-low, and Christian hit him in a corner for a rhythm 3, and he got Garrison Edie, got him a couple first 6s in early offense out of a broken floor when he ran the floor. So he just got him the right way, and when he does that, he also makes our post guys be able to catch it with less double and help. So all those things work together. He's a really nice player, and I mean, him and Coach Bill have a really unique relationship. He enjoys being dinged, and he'll ding right back. And we were watching a little tape yesterday, and I don't know. He's a fun young man to be around. All of our guys are, but it's good to see him play, because our program's not for everybody, but there's a lot of stress and challenges, and we want guys to play at the full extent of their potential. And he's one that I think has a high ceiling. So I do. We challenge him. We challenge those guys to play with purpose and play the right way, and we make it a little bit uncomfortable at times in the film room and practice. And a guy like him that loves basketball, he responds. So it's fun to see.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the schedule. I guess the Outback Classic is
going
going
on. Outback has been so good to our basketball program, and Sean and those guys at Outback, they've just been so supportive of our basketball. It gives us a chance to play at home. Gives our chance our parents this time of year to be close. So Sean and all those guys, man, get out there and see them. They've been phenomenal, it's just a great place to eat, as we all know here in town. And then Christy Covington, her crew have helped so much run that tournament. Our cheerleading advisor, her parents, and her support staff with the things that make the tournament run so smoothly. And it's just a great field. We try to make it really good for our parents and those type of things. Today we have at 11 o'clock, Fayetteville plays Shelbyville. Fayetteville is a really nice team out of West Tennessee, and Shelbyville is really a talented team on the come. And then we play Cascade, a really scrappy, good Cascade team, coached by a really, really good coach in Chris Lawson at 2 o'clock, and then a really good Webb team and a talented Kirkwood team. Two really good teams at 3:30 to finish it up. So 3 really nice games today, and we're excited about people coming out and seeing us.
Yeah, then you'll have a little break for Christmas, and then you're somewhere after Christmas.
Yeah, we break. I think we break for 2 days, and then we'll come back on Christmas night. We don't typically practice on Christmas night. We always do if we play the 26th, or we'll practice Christmas night, and then 26, 27, and 28, a great field at Father Ryan. Father Ryan, don't know if we'll catch them. Depends on how he shakes out in the tournament, but a really nice opening game with Brentwood again, who's a really nice team, and we played one of our better games of the year to beat them earlier, so we know we'll have their full attention, and so that'll be fun. So we're excited about the Father Ryan.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing the Blaze. And Barry, I guess the tournament will be over just in time maybe to see a little football tonight, Tennessee.
Yeah, absolutely. When we scheduled that, we didn't have a crystal ball, but we did know that people wanted to get out, so we tried to make Saturday an earlier deal. And last game will start at 3:30. Should be out about 5 o'clock. So we'll have a full opportunity for people to come out. I'm a Buckeye. Grew up outside of Columbus, so got a bunch of people coming over tonight. A lot of Tennessee fans and some Buckeye fans. So we're excited about the game.
That's the only thing I don't like about you, Barry. Just kidding. I don't really have a dog in that hunt, but should be a fun game. I know a mutual friend of ours. I think he has only orange in his repertoire.
Stephen Crutchfield. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Stephen Crutchfield is obviously a great football player at Laverne, tight end. He transitioned to tackle, and just a great player.
You were at Laverne then when he was there.
Yeah, and he played for me, and just a unbelievable. And I've been so fortunate to have so many former players that have been a part of my life. And Stephen's probably one of the closest guys. I've had a good relationship for 20 years. We talk 2 or 3 times a week. But it's a funny story. Stephen bleeds orange. He's a big basketball, football, baseball. He doesn't miss a game. So anyway, my mom lives about 15 miles from the stadium there. She's a Tennessee girl, loves Tennessee, but 54 years in Ohio, she's become a big Buckeye. And so anyway, Stephen, my mom offered for Stephen to save a little money to stay at our house last night. So her and Stephen were talking. I was sort of listening on the conversation, and she says, Stephen, she said, you come up. I've got a little heater fan for you. I got waffle and eggs chicken and waffles in the morning. And do you like blueberries? And he's like, well, Miss Workman, you don't have to do all that. She says, Stephen, we're going to treat you and beat you. So I've never seen Stephen Crutchfield stymied, but he was taken aback.
I bet. Did he decide to stay?
Well, I think he's end up staying in Columbus. But to see Stephen Crutchfield on his heels. Now he did mumble something about he's already got his plane tickets for the Rose Bowl next week. So he recovered. But I love to see Stephen on his heels because that don't happen much.
Yeah. Well, I was at Waldron. Helping out as an EA when he was at Waldron in Laverne. So we go way back. Great family. And it's cool that those relationships, this many years later, continue.
Oh, man. Our relationship, is special, and a lot of other guys. Reed Pierce, I just told you, is moving to Los Angeles, and we had a good conversation right before he left. So those relationships, and I'm excited about the Garrison Edie's and the Christian Johnsons and our relationship with them as we move past too. And hey, by the way, I never, being a former point guard, Garrison Edie, 11 points, 8 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover yesterday. What a 4 games, and a big part of getting guys open shots. So. Just a really fun basketball game last night for our team to play so complete. It was awesome.
Absolutely. Barry, I could talk to you all day. Appreciate you coming in. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you at the gym soon.
Okay, thank you, and Merry Christmas. Appreciate all for their support of Blackman basketball.
Absolutely. Barry Workman joining us this morning on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Ideas Tees. They'll be happy to help you fulfill your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at ideastees.com.
Here's your Little Caesar slices and sticks, half Italian cheese sticks, half pepperoni pizza. It's the world's greatest combination.
Carl? How could you? Sorry, PB&J. I wanted to try new things. No. Have some for yourself. Yes.
No! Get hot and ready slices and sticks for $6.99. Walk in and walk out between 4 and 8 p.m.
Little Caesars Pizza is a proud supporter of all Rutherford County High School athletes. Be sure to visit your Murfreesboro Little Caesars today.
Pizza.
You've seen the ads out there, companies wanting to buy your home. But why sell yourself short when you can get fair market value? I'm Lisa Patton. If you have an estate to settle or a home to sell, call Parks Auction. We'll work with you to sell your home or property in any condition with no costly repairs on your timeline. Why accept one offer when you can have multiple? You need Parks Auction. We look out for your best interest. Call Parks Auction today. We handle everything.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan France Concrete. Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan France Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranceconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Back here on the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro. And this portion is brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza, with 4 Murfreesboro locations: Memorial Boulevard, Warrior Drive, South Rutherford Boulevard, and Old Fort Parkway. Get hot and ready pizza from Little Caesars. It's time to talk Laverne boys basketball this morning. Rutland is here, and Coach, it's hard to think that we've already reached, like a third of the season. I kind of think of basketball season in thirds: before Christmas, Christmas, and then after. So I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, but I mean, it's going by so fast. You think, football season is a long period of time. You may be playing only 1 game a week, but, for us, it just goes by so fast.
So kind of where are you in terms of that and your schedule? I have a 3-4 record at this point.
Yeah, we've played a lot of tough games, and again, I don't shy away from playing a lot of tough games, and we play a lot of games on the road. But this is what I want to do. I want to put my guys into the gauntlet. I want them to experience a hostile environment. I always was, taught that, good teams can win on the road. So, win or lose, I think we're going through a tough spell, but, we haven't still put 4 quarters together, but we're playing tough competitions. We played Christian Brown, who's the #1 player in Tennessee, and we did a good job, only lost to them by 4. We played other teams, independents as well. So, I'm okay with where we're at right now. We lost to Antioch, who at home at their place, but, we didn't play as well as we want, but give them all credit. I think, we have to realize that every game teams are going to come after us because of our last year's success.
Yeah, just thinking of last year, you took Independence to overtime, earlier back earlier this month. So, I mean, you're playing the likes of Independence, Brentwood, Franklin, and these are teams that look to be a factor, and would not be surprised to see maybe even a couple of those teams in the Murphy Center.
Yeah, I mean, they're top teams in the area, and I think, you know, for us, if we can play them, get to know them and see them on the road while they're playing well, I think the butterflies will be out the window later on in the season. But, you know, Independence was poised. You know, I give my guys credit. We were up a little bit, and, you know, with them being a veteran team and being in the state championship, and, you know, having guys like Tyler playing on their team, they were able to, you know, pull out a win, and, you know, we just couldn't finish. But, you know, again, you know, I want my guys to go through these situations. I'd rather go through it early than going, you know, into the end of the season where they haven't been through it. And, you know, unfortunately for us, like if we lose later on in the season, it can hurt us. It could be our last game. Well, you know, a team like Independence, who's been through it for years, you know, they did not panic in overtime, and they were able to do the things they needed to do to pull out the win.
You know, the later you go into the season, and especially when you're in postseason, there is a lot of pressure there, because it could mean the end of the road, if you will. So playing this tough competition now gets you ready for those types of games, to really just take the butterflies of all of that away and just go play.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and it's really big on the situations. I think, you know, we're put in a lot of situations where we're either down or up, not turning the ball over, making free throws in crunch time. So those guys who either make it, they've been through it. If they miss it, they know what it feels like. And, you know, hopefully it put that fire in their gut and, you know, start practicing. So when put in that same situation later on, they're not feeling the pressure like they felt the first time. But, you know, my guys, they really fight through, you know, adversity, being down or up. And, you know, I think that just contests to the schedule that we played. Me personally, I think that we're probably the top 10 toughest schedule in the state.
Yeah, I think it definitely has to be, and more tough competition to come. Joining us here this morning, Lauren boys basketball coach Tony Rutland. In fact, taking part this weekend in the Adidas Classic at Riverdale, and there are lots of great games going on all throughout the weekend. So be sure to head out and take part in that. And does that continue next week after Christmas too?
Yes, we have an Allen Iverson Classic that we're going to be hosting on the 27th and 28th, I believe. And we have some teams that are going to be from Missouri. Our first game is going to be Father Tolton Catholic out of Missouri, who has a Missouri commit. We have Louisville out of Texas, Cedar Grove, and North Atlanta out of Georgia. White Station, we have Siegel, a local team in our district, in our region now. They're participating. Macaulay out of Chattanooga and Hillsborough. So it's going to be a great competition. I think it's going to be, you know, you're going to see some top players from either their state or, you know, from Tennessee that's just really going to shine, and 4 or 5-star athletes that sign with D1 or committed to D1 schools. So I think this is a good thing for the Middle Tennessee area, and hopefully we can have a good crowd so we can support good basketball.
Now, this is this the first year that you've done this classic?
It is. It's the first year that we're hosting. You know, of course, I played with Allen Iverson in high school, so I talked to one of the guys, Bobby Bates, who's in charge of it, and I was like, hey, why not? Let's try to host it and, you know, bring some good talent. I know we have a lot of classics that are around here, but to have teams from out of state to come and showcase our talent against other competition around the country, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, and I know, Tony, that a lot of teams like to travel at least once during the holiday period if they can. And so there's teams from Texas and Missouri that are coming in, that's a great experience for them. But sometimes it's nice to be at home in your own gym as well. So this is kind of cool. Is this an every year thing now, or do you have to kind of decide year to year to continue?
I hope it's something that we can continue to have here. Whether it's with Allen or just, talking to other schools that's interested in participating, I think it'll be something that it could be good, whether, playing teams from Alabama and Tennessee, pairing them together or, whatever. But, I think it's good for us to showcase our basketball talents around, the state of Tennessee because, again, we're always considered the football state, but, we do have some talent around the state that play basketball and go to Division I college and 4 or 5 star. But, we don't get the credit, I think, as other states do because, again, we're considered a football state. But, to showcase our talent, I think it'd be wonderful for the state of Tennessee to participate, if it's annually or, or whatever. But I think it'll be a great thing.
Yeah. So that's Friday after Christmas, the 27th and the 28th, both days. And I guess you can come. And how many games a day are you planning on?
1, 2, 3. We have 5 games on the 27th and 6 games on the 28th.
Wow.
We'll post it again. We start at 1:30, White Station against North Atlanta. Then at 3, we got Cedar Grove against Siegel. 4:30, Tri-Cities against McCauley. At 6, we got the School of Louisville, Texas versus Hillsborough. And then at 7:30, we'll play Father Tolton out of Missouri. And then on Saturday, we got Austin East playing Tri-Cities, Tennessee Prep playing School of Louisville, North Atlanta playing Tyler Academy. And then we got Siegel playing McCauley at 3. On Saturday, Cedar Grove playing White Station, Hillsborough playing Father Tolton, and then we'll play the Memphis homeschool out of Memphis.
All right.
At 7:30. Yeah,
very good. So come out and enjoy a whole afternoon of basketball. Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
Tony Rutland joining us talking Laverne boys basketball. Just briefly touch after Christmas and the holiday period. We come back to school, and before our next coaches show that we have a chance to talk, you've got Clarksville, Rockvale, Blackman. You're going to get a taste of maybe some of those region opponents before district play starts, and those are 2 really good teams probably going to be competing in the region.
Yeah, we're familiar with them, and we know Blackman is always going to be Blackman. I mean, they're going to always be methodic with their offense and defense. Coach Wortman does a great job of getting their guys ready, and then Coach, at Rockville, they're going to be coming along with their team, and again, we love to see other teams in other regions so we can kind of see where we stand as far as how we are as a team. So, playing those teams is definitely going to get us better, help us for the district, because I think our district is going to be pretty tight as well, with Stewart's Creek playing well, Smyrna, Cookeville, as always, defending champions, and then, Wilson Central with their new coach, and Lebanon is always going to be good.
Yeah, going to be some interesting competition. By the way, for those who are planning to go to that Blackman game on the 13th, that's boys only, so you're going to play JV, and then the boys game will tip at 6. So just a mental note to make there. And, Coach, appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. It's always good to catch up, and good luck to the Wolverines during the holiday schedule here, and we'll catch up with you after the first of the year.
Thank you, and happy holidays to all y'all.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to Coach Tony Rutland, Laverne boys basketball coach, joining us here on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car, professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online, autorepairsmyrna.com.
Oh, I know it's a busy time, but this is also a time of giving. And I need you to give a moment of your time to fill out the special census for Murfreesboro, go to murfreesborocensus.com. It only takes a couple of minutes, and you'll do a lot for our community. Go to murfreesborocensus.com. Fill out the special census today. Can Santa count you in? Ho, 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 ho.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
The Blue Raiders fan source for officially licensed Middle Tennessee gear is Raider Tees, located at 910 Ridgely Road, behind Chewy's, just off Broad Street.
Time to get out in the cold in style with officially licensed Middle Tennessee stocking caps, coats, jackets, sweats, scarves, and more. If it's blue and white with the Middle Tennessee logo, you can bet the best selection in town is at Raider Tees.
Raider Tees by Ideas Tees, 910 Ridgely Road, off Broad between Chewy's and Chili's.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the Coach's Show brought to you by Bowen's Body Shop. From dings and dents to full body work, trust Jeff and Cal Bowen to do the job right. They're located on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. John Dinkins here with Coach Darren Birdwell, the head coach of the Oakland Patriots. Before we get started, Coach, how's the little one doing?
Oh, she's good. She's
a
ready
cheerleader
for
now, isn't she?
She's all about cheering on the side. Yeah, every game she loves to go over and stand. She actually asked me at the Cookville game because their cheerleaders were there and ours wasn't. She goes, "Daddy, would you get mad if I went down there and cheered with the other cheerleaders?" And of course, her mom's like, "No, we're not doing that." So, but no, she's great. Excited for Santa, ready to make cookies and.
Oh yeah, it's a great time of year, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big
now,
time.
How old is she now?
She's 4. She is 4. Yep.
4, but with the mentality of an 18-year-old.
Yeah, exactly right. And we'll blink and she'll actually be 18.
Yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Coach, it's been a kind of a, I don't know, we were talking off air about some of the injuries and some of the players that are coming back from football, which you face that a lot. I mean, it's always you're going to have 2 or 3 football players that come late, but trying to get 10 people out there has been tough early.
Yeah, big time. We've just kind of had to battle right now. We've been okay with the sickness bug until last night, and then we had Malcolm Ashley starter be out with sickness, and then football season ends. We have Matthew Moore kind of in a freak accident, break his jaw, so that one hurt, and then had another one decide that he wanted to focus on football, which hurt depth-wise, and then Chase Bandy, who's still going to played an All-Star game, and if you count the All-Star game, he's played football, I guess, in 16 out of 17 weeks, and body's kind of banged up, and I give him the option to take a week off, and so he will, and hopefully he'll be back on December 26th for practice, and then he'll get one full practice, and then we go play 3 games, so after Christmas. But yeah, just trying to survive with what we got right now. We've got, a bunch of guys that are competing and battling and trying to guard and do the things we ask. And we've, had a tied or had a lead in every game in the fourth quarter in every game except for Stewart's Creek on Tuesday night when, they kind of whipped us pretty good, and credit to their coaching staff and players. But, we're so close, I feel like, but you can tell that, it's frustrating to lose, and the kids, are obviously a little frustrated. But the one positive, I guess, of basketball versus football is if you lose one of those, you got to wait a whole week. Where in basketball, we lose a tough one last night, and we get to play in, about 6-7 hours here.
Yeah, they 5-5 on the year, and but you are having some contributions and some good play. I did want to mention, with Ashley being sick, that people go, well, that's one game, but that's like 10 points at least a game that you're going to have to find somewhere else.
Yeah, Malcolm's averaging close to a double-double. He's got, averaging just over 10 points and just under, about 8 or 9 rebounds a game. And so then you've got to get that from everybody else, at that point, and not one person, but everybody's kind of got to, pick up the slack there, and then whoever takes his place. In case last night it was Emery starting wise, and then we've got Kamani Bass who came in off the bench and played a couple other guys, but and Landon Jarrett and Will Harlan. But it's hard to change somebody's I guess their role on the team, especially when right before walkthrough we thought we were going to have everybody, and then we don't. So it's like, hey, we haven't practiced a bunch with this group out there together, but hey, let's go try to find a way to win. And I was proud of them. I thought we played well last night. Just couldn't make the game-winning play. That's kind of what I told them after the game. We, down 2, missed a shot to tie it with about 20 seconds left. We're down 2 again after a foul with less than 10 seconds left, and we can't get the rebound on free throw. And some of it's, I guess, karma. Some of it is, we got to go make the plays to win the game. And right now we're so close. There were times last year, I felt like we were getting beat at this time of year and we're getting kind of blown out. And I was like, we got to find a way to make it close. And we're so close right now to, I feel like, competing. But just got to you got to find a way to make a play or two more a game, which has kind of been the difference right now between us being 5-5 and being 9-1. So.
I know you're really. I look at it, you're kind of young. I mean, you've got sophomores and juniors basically, and trying to find somebody to take that leadership role. I know you had that last year a little bit with some seniors, but when you look at it, trying to put 4 quarters together with the younger team sometimes can be kind of difficult because you have little lapses where you'll get behind or that kind of thing, and that seems to be happening too.
Yeah, we're down double figures. I think we're double digits at one point against Green Hill. We come back and tie it. We're down 8 going into the 4th against Upperman. I know we were down at least 13 or 14 first quarter, come back and tie it. We play Cookville. We're down 10 in the 3rd quarter. With 6 minutes to go, we tie it. Last night, I think we got down 6 or 8 in the 2nd quarter. We come back and take a lead, and then we just couldn't hang on, But then we get down, 2-4 multiple times last night in the 4th quarter, and we come back and, cut it to 1 and just couldn't make the play. But you're right. We had 4 kids score last night, and all 4 will be back next year. We had 1 sophomore and 3 juniors. So that's, I guess, the silver lining, but you want to have that success now, and we just got to keep working and work through the holidays and hopefully be ready for district play come January 14th.
Brian Haggard has been having quite a year so far. I'm thinking when you score 28 points, and I was talking to another coach this morning, when you score that many in a high school game, that's pretty impressive. I mean, it's hard to do. Yeah,
he's averaging. I think he was averaging 25 going into this week, and he struggled and only had 6 against Stewart's Creek, but then he comes back and has 30 last night.
Yeah.
He definitely our scoring he's a big part of that. He takes a lot of shots. He takes a couple bad ones, but he's good enough to make a couple bad ones too. So you kind of got to, my philosophy, I guess, is you kind of got to live with the good with the bad, and he's played well. I think we've played 10 games. I think he's had, I know, at least 3, maybe 4 games where he scored 30 or more, and yeah, he's definitely one that can put the ball in the hole, and we're happy and excited for his future and lucky to have him as an Oakland Patriot.
Yeah, and he's going to get a lot of attention from now here on in too.
Oh, yeah.
How much will Chase being back? I know he's kind of got that leadership quality. That's going to be important to you. I know he's probably not in basketball shape yet, but it'll be a little bit of a slow process. But he's got to mean a lot to leadership.
Yeah, best way I can describe it with Chase is he breaks his arm last year and missed the first 20 games of the season, I think, and we were 5-15 without him, and then when he came back, we were 5-4 with him. So he definitely means a lot to our team, leadership wise. He's played a lot of he's played a lot of varsity minutes in this district. He's a really good shooter. He competes hard. He plays hard. He understands the game. And worst case scenario, he gives us depth. And that's just we definitely need that right now. And looking forward to having him back after the holiday.
I know you're looking forward to after the holidays because you'll have at least 10 there to play. You're in the Adidas tournament right now at Riverdale, and you play tonight actually at 5:30?
Yeah, we play Rossview at 5:30. They've got a really good guard. Riverdale, I thought Coach Voss did a good job yesterday of guarding to hit them and giving his team a chance to win, and they competed and just almost just 1 point short in overtime, about as close as you can get. But he they're a good team. They'll give us some problems athletically, and we've got to find a way to keep working and building and guarding. And tough loss yesterday, and we can't let Centennial beat us twice. It's kind of what I told the team after the game, and that's what we've got to be looking forward to coming today at 5:30, and hopefully we'll be ready to play.
Well, we're going to be starting district regular season here before long. What's the plans after Christmas? Are you going to give a few days off? Or?
We'll be after tonight. We'll be off for about 4 days. Then we go to Page's Christmas tournament. We had a miscommunication, I guess you'd say, with Shelbyville where we were supposed to play on January 3rd. And this was back in August, so we had to pick up another game somewhere, and so we picked it up at Page. So December 27th, I think we're playing Memphis Business. At 1 o'clock, the 28th, we play Boyd Buchanan at 2:30, and the 30th, we play Springfield at 11:30. And then they'll get a couple of days off for New Year's, and then we'll come back and practice. And I think we've got Beach on January 7th at Beach and Mount Juliet on January 10th at Mount Juliet, and then we'll be ready to, I guess, host the Rockets on January 14th.
There you go, boy. It's here, isn't it? It's hard to believe. Yeah. Before I let you go, Darren, I want to ask you one question. Tennessee, Ohio State. Who you picking?
Man, I've got to go with my Vols, but I'm a little nervous. I think Ohio State's probably the most talented team in the country. They've lost a couple games they probably shouldn't have, but we got to. It's going to be a line of scrimmage game, I guess. If we can control the game and put a little pressure on their quarterback and not allow those aliens at wide receiver to go off that they have, I think we got a shot. But watching game day before I got here this morning, it seemed like there's a lot of orange in Columbus, and hopefully, they can find a way to root us on and continue the season and get ready to play Oregon in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I heard it's been crazy the ticket-wise that UT's going to cover that place up, aren't they?
That's the hope, man. Hopefully we can have 30,000 is kind of the number that everybody's hoping we can get to up there.
Let's have a good start, tonight,
For sure. I don't want to be down 14-0 like we were against Vanderbilt.
There you go. All right. That's Darren Birdwell, the head coach. Got two big games tonight. He's got his own basketball game, and he's got UT tonight.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy it and have a nice Christmas.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Merry Christmas.
Tell the girls hi.
I'll do it.
All right, that's Darren Birdwell, the head coach of the Oakland Patriots. When we come back, we'll be talking Stewart's Creek basketball. This portion of the show is brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee, also an Oakland football graduate. And that's Dan France Concrete.
Pizza. Murfreesboro's favorite pizza is now hiring at all 3 local locations. That's right. We want you to join the Sir Pizza team. Stop in at our East Main, Veterans Parkway, or Memorial Boulevard locations and let us know how you'd like to join the Sir Pizza family. Also, we've made it even easier to order for carryout or delivery. Just head on over to sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
We fulfill all your tax preparation needs from individual returns to corporations and handle any of those scary letters you may get from the IRS.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Stickers, labels, we do a lot of direct mail, booklets, manuals, programs. My name is Jeff Carlton. I handle sales and marketing for Franklin's Print Works here at Murfreesboro. We are at 2227 South Park Drive. Franklin's Printworks has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer. We offer everything from business cards to brochures, booklets to banners, everything in between. Our website is franklinsprinting.org.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And the Coaches Show today brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue, ribs, and many local favorites on Warrior Drive. You know they got wings now, Dalton. They're really good. Locally operated by Anne-Marie Brentz and the Lanning family. John Dinkins back with you here, and we have on board with us Adam Jones, the head coach of the Stewart's Creek Redhawks. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are y'all doing this morning?
Doing great. And we had an opportunity to see your guys play the other night against Gallatin, and right now you're one of the hotter teams in our district, and it's been amazing to watch. And I was really impressed with your guys, the way they play together.
Yeah, we're starting to come together a little bit and starting to hit our stride. Now we've gotten, I don't know if you want to call it fortune or whatever, but we played well against Gallatin, but they were missing one of their better players. We turned around and played Oakland. The kids did a great job on their leading scorer, executed the game plan, but they're a little shorthanded too. And then we played last night, Grundy County, and their best player didn't play. So, but our kids are still competing, and we're coming out and we're winning games. But we've had some fortune a little bit with not the best players playing for the other team right now. But we got Brentwood today at 4, so that'll probably change, and we'll go fire a shot.
Looking at them today, and I'm going to attribute some of that to you, Coach. They really seem to be focused and listening to what you're saying to them. I mean, it's and it's hard to control a group of high school kids, but they really look like they are buying in to what you're throwing out there at them.
Yes, they definitely are, and that's a credit to them. I mean, this is obviously my first year, but this is such an easy group to coach because we got so many coaches on the floor as well. But they do listen, they buy in, and we get to work, and they get it done. I've been with most of them since their freshman year, so there's familiarity there. But, yeah, I agree. But it's a credit to them that they buy in and they're ready to play and put a game plan together and go execute it.
And it helped you, I guess, to have that familiarity with them when you started this first season with them, to know those guys, and they know you.
100%, and obviously as an assistant, you keep it a little bit more lighthearted with the kids, but it was an easy, transformation into the head coach role. We still keep it lighthearted. We have fun, but they know when it's time to get down to business and work really hard, and they've done a good job at that so far. Now, hopefully we can continue, which I think we will.
Well, Des Carpenter and Sean Goggins sure have I know he was in foul trouble a little bit in the Gallatin game, but, boy, they are playing really well right now.
They really are, and that's one of the parts of us coming together. Sean missed the first 4 games, just with a crazy accident, cut his finger taking the trash out, doing his chores, so he was out. We could have been a little bit more competitive in those with him, but, him coming along and just being a sophomore and giving us what he has been incredible. And Des has been unbelievable, too, not being able to play last year as a junior, and he was ready to go from the tip game 1. So they've really helped us get to where we need to be and where we're going.
You've got a floor general out there, and help me with the name because I've gone blank. But
Micah?
Yes.
Yeah. Looks like he's 40 years old.
Yes, I know. It's funny, Coach. I mentioned that in the play-by-play game. I said, how long has he been at Stewart's Creek? I said, I think he's about 30. But but boy, he is. He just has this way to solidify everything. And I noticed when when you took him out, I think he may have been in a little bit of foul trouble.
Yeah,
they made a surge. He came back in, immediately calmed the waters again.
Yeah, and that's his specialty. You know, he hears it almost every day. You're still at Stewart's Creek. You know, he's one of those think you're a 7th year senior. But he is. He's our glue that kind of settles us down, that kind of runs the show. You know, he's not going to go get you 15 or 20 every night. Now he might. He's capable. But he's going to fill the stat sheet, and he's going to run the floor. He's one of the bigger coaches that we have on the floor, you know, and most time I can just tell him stuff. I sit back, clap, cheer, and tell him good job.
And what amazes me about him is his rebounding ability. I mean, if the ball goes up off the rim, he's somewhere around the ball when he comes off for some reason.
Absolutely, and this is his second year. He was our leading rebounder last year.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
leading us in rebound this year, and it's just pure effort, you know. I mean, we're trying to get the other kids bought in. You know, nothing against Micah, but he probably has the least highest vertical on the team, you know.
Yeah.
But he goes in there, competes, and he pulls boards, and when he gets his hands on it, it's his. Now, we got to get some of our other kids to do the same thing, and we could be pretty good.
And I think if you tell him to shave his beard, he might look younger. I'm not sure, but
yeah, that or the hair. But you know, that's Micah. He would look really weird with no facial hair.
I
no
would think,
hair.
yeah, because he's had that since he was a freshman. Actually,
100%.
Yeah,
he has.
I want to talk about Nelson a little bit too. He's been a big contributor and scored 16 the other night. And tell us a little bit about him.
He's been a really good player. You know, he didn't really play much the last couple years. We've kind of talked to him and try to, you know, get him involved with basketball because, man, when he goes, he is a really, really good player. You know, sneaky, athletic, quick, and with these older guys around him, he's buying in too. When he buys in, he's a real big problem. You know, and his brother is on the bench. He broke his wrist. You know, he was playing really well for us before he went down, but he should be back hopefully by district play. But yeah, I mean, Cam's doing a great job before he got injured, and London's buying in and helping us out a ton.
Cam, that's a familiar name from years past too. He's a good player.
Yeah, he is.
You know, as you start, you're getting closer to district time. I know you've got some more games. Tell us. I know you're playing tonight, right?
Yeah, 4:00. We got Brentwood. We got kind of a tough slate coming up, and we're giving them 4 days off for Christmas. We'll come back 26th and practice. Because next Friday, Saturday, 27th, 28th, we have Centennial and then Upperman. And then after that, I don't know if it's Warren County first, then Blackman, or maybe vice versa, but we got Blackman coming up, Green Hill coming up, Warren County again before we start district play. So we got a tough little schedule.
Yeah, that's kind of murderous row right there, to tell you the truth. And when you get back from Christmas, you kind of jump right into it after Christmas too, don't you? I mean, with that slate of games.
Yeah, we do, and that's why, you know, everyone tries to come back the day after Christmas and get a practice in because, you know, most have been laying around, stuff in their face, opening presents, all that sort of stuff. So we just kind of get moving a little bit. And then those post-Christmas little tournaments are kind of just, let's go fire a shot, let's get back in shape, let's get to where we were before Christmas started.
And hopefully when district comes, that's going to be good to get another player back as well. It's a tough district. It's like 3 seasons. You know, you've got the preseason, and then before Christmas, then you got the regular season, then another whole new season when tournament play starts.
Yeah, it is, and that's why teams like doing these little Christmas deals. There's still games. We still want to win. We want to compete, you know, but it's got kind of more of the lighthearted vibe to it,
right?
Because you're playing back-to-back games. You know, I would love to play Brentwood and practice for 3 straight days to prepare for them. You know, it's tough to play last night and then go fire a shot against Brentwood because they're so tough to guard. But it's just kind of more lighthearted and takes that pressure away. And then once you get done with that, now we're back into the more, okay, we got to dial in, we got to execute game plan, and we got to go play and beat these teams.
Is it also a good time, Coach, to play people to kind of look at your depth and see who could contribute maybe off the bench that maybe wouldn't get as many minutes as they do in these games? You know, you just kind of watch and see maybe somebody that contribute down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a kid right now we've been trying to kind of plug in, see what he can do for us. He was a football player, wanted to play basketball, you know, and I said, yeah, come on, and we'll see how it goes. And he's done a good job for us, plug it in, and I think he should help us in district. And then we'll get some of the other guys in there because, you know, like I said, Cam is out. One of our other little guards, Jalen Stegall's kind of got an Achilles problem, so he's probably out till after Christmas. Jerry Taylor's out right now. So we're a little short-handed right now, but come after Christmas, we should get everybody back. But like you said, yeah, you get to plug in some kids and see what they can do.
And 4 days off at Christmas, that's the time to heal some wounds, too, that you maybe have a little bit of walking wounded, too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's time to rest, and that's what the practice after Christmas Day is for, is just get running and see where we are, conditioning-wise.
Last question I want to ask you before we go. I know being a head coaching gig, you mentioned a little bit about it. It's a little different being the assistant coach than being the head coach, but how different is it, or is it that much?
I've been around the game for so long. People always say it's just moving one seat over, which in theory it is, but it's a little bit more different with just in-game adjustments, and being the one to make the calls, although I've got good assistants to back me up and make sure I'm making the right call. But that's kind of been the biggest learning curve is just in-game adjustments and, how do we do this? How do we fix that on the fly?
Well, Coach, it's been great talking to you, and we'll be talking to you again in a couple of weeks. But, man, this little run you're on, hope it continues tonight.
Yeah, me too. I really appreciate it. Thank you all. Have a Merry
right.
Christmas.
That's Adam Jones, the head coach of the Stewarts Creek Redhawks. When we return, we'll be wrapping things up with my session, anyway, with the Rockville Rockets. This portion of the show has been brought to you by the Murfreesboro Special Census. Counting everyone means more state dollars to improve roads, parks, and services. Fill out the fast, easy, and secure form at murfreesborocensus.com. Back in a minute.
We're talking with Anne-Marie Brents at Rick's Barbecue, carrying on the Lanning family tradition.
I'm passionate about it, and I have a lot of my dad in me, so I know that I have the same energy and mindset that he does.
It's the best barbecue you'll eat, the smoked chicken out of this world, and those loaded baked potatoes.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds. People ask us that all the time. They're like, where do y'all get those potatoes from?
A quick meal feeding the whole family or catering, they can do it all at Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive.
Your ride, your stuff. You live with them together. I'm State Farm Agent Ron Reeves. It's smart to protect them together to help life go right. Give me a call at 615-873-1700 and let me help you save by combining auto and renters.
Local business owners, you know how important it is to be here for your customers. I'm State Farm Agent Emerson Williams, and I run a small business in Rutherford County too. And I'm here to help you protect your small business. Call me at 615-459-2683.
Hi, I'm Lakin Gilman, a mortgage loan originator with First Mortgage, a department of First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. With competitive rates and personal service, let me turn your homeownership dreams into reality. Visit my website, lakinhibden.com, or come by my office at 322 North Front Street, located in downtown Murfreesboro, and let's get started.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
Genesee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the Coaches Show is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric, serving our community by providing affordable, reliable, and safe electricity. Online at mte.com. John Dinkins back with you, and here we are just going down the road to Rockville High School. Rockville Land, the home of Luker, the Luker Land.
It's Luker Land.
Yeah. And Wendell Ingram, the head coach of the Rockville boys. And let's talk a little bit about the start you've had. I know your schedule's been – who made that out? Was it you?
Man,
Can I blame you for that, or Hockenberry?
I think I was running fever, and I was a little sad when Hockenberry left, and all that mixed in together. Now,
just couldn't handle
someone
it.
Should have took my phone when I said yes to these people.
I'm telling you, you have played some powerhouses, and right now I know you're not exactly where you want to be, but I think you see some good things that are happening with the Rockville Rockets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. like I said, we didn't schedule lightly. And the thing about it is, we're not worried about our record here in November and December. We're trying to get better for January and February, and to where we can play in March. Once district play starts, nobody's going to ask, how did you guys do in November? They're going to be able to see the steps that we've made to be able to compete in January. Like I said, we've played Ainsworth, Lipscomb, Page, Nolensville. All of those teams right there is going to probably lead their packs. And, went to Green Hills the other night. And so we're going to go out there and play teams to try to get better. It helps our guys out in the long run.
I know Conversation, if that means anything to you, they worry about the Rockville Rockets. You're a team that I think people are a little concerned about. You've got some talent and you can play ball. And I think down the road that's going to pay off for you totally, because I know Rockville's always trying to put all of that together. You got to play tough teams. You can't just the record might be great, but you'd rather play tough competition.
Yes, sir. Like every game so far this season, we've played 11 guys. No matter what the score is, we're going to play 11 guys. Because the thing about it is, I take this. Most teams we have tryouts in late spring and in November. My tryout is every night. I want to be able to see who I can trust when we're playing a team like Blackman in the district games or district tournament, and see who I can trust to throw out there. And every last one of those guys got my respect. Every one of those guys got the green light. They can shoot the ball. Scoring columns. I got a sophomore who plays JV most of the time that comes into the game the other night, hits 2 threes. He hits a big 3 last night, Jay Nevins, that, was just going to be a great kid. Kaysen is going to be really good sophomore. Dallas, sophomore, that's getting some big minutes. So we're asking for sophomores to go out there and get better right now, because we're going to need those guys in January.
Wendell, when you look at your district and how tough all these teams are, everybody's kind of looking at things. Do you look for the preseason kind of for depth too? Because you're playing 11 guys and somebody shows out. It's kind of like the kids you're talking about playing on JV, hitting 2 threes, big surprise, but yet you kind of know in your heart whether they're going to be able to play for you guys or not. But it really helps to get an opportunity to see all these guys.
We preach it in practice all the time. Our practices are very intense. I don't even think we stretch for about 30 seconds. We go right into fast-paced drills, because we want to start a game the same way that we practice, and that's fast, up-tempo. We believe in defense. We believe in playing to the end. If you got the lead on us in the fourth quarter, you can't go and put your bench in. Ainsworth tried that, and we cut it down on them, and they put their starters right back in. He shot me a text message later on that night and said, man, he said, you guys are the team that no one's going to want to see in January. We play tough. They got 2 kids that's going to probably go Power 5 in college, and we they did great, but that helped us to prepare for the Seagulls, which got a Carter Webb that can score at will. That prepares us for the Blackmans that got Garrison Edie and guys like that over there. So, like I said, right now, yes, our record ain't what it needs to be, but if you look at who we're playing and where those teams are going to be at in January, February, March, you can kind of see why we scheduled those games.
Well, let's talk about a few of those. Elijah France scored 21 points in a big win, a big 20-point win over Mount Juliet. And Ty Newton, and you got several there that can put it in the basket.
And those 2 guys, if you look at that, we was led by Elijah 21, Ty 17. We win by 20 at Mount Juliet, but I didn't have a Malachi Long or a Caleb Lewis last night. Malachi had a death in the family, so he was out of town. Caleb Lewis got hurt doing warm-up against Ezel Harden on Thursday night. So we're showing teams that, yes, we got scores that score, but we ain't 100% yet.
Mm-hmm.
If we would have had those 2 guys last night, it probably would have been pretty bad for Mount Juliet last night.
Caleb is a big scorer too.
Can score at will. So you're looking at 2 of our top 4 scorers that didn't even play last night, and we still win by 20. Defensively, we didn't look too bad last night, but we still got some stuff to work on. And it's going to be really exciting come January on what it opens up to.
One thing too, the Rockville does that I don't know that every team does this. You play a lot of games. I mean, you're not scared to play anybody, and you play a bunch of them. You play on Thursday night. You'll play on a Monday night. If they're available to play, you'll play them.
Strategically, the Thursday nights is because we may end up playing a team that's not going to bring a big crowd. But if you're the only team in the area, you're going to attract people in. Like I scheduled Innsworth on a Thursday night because I knew nobody else around here would be playing.
Good. That's a good procedure. That's
yes.
a good way to think
So there was a great gate. I had kids from PCA, Webb, everybody came because, one, you're going to watch two kids to play that's going to probably go to the NBA. I mean, those kids from Innsworth are great players. You got a 7'2" kid. How often can you say you play against a 7'2" kid that's going to probably go to the league? But we was battling with them for 3 quarters, and then they got a edge on us a little bit. And but when you can look around the gym and you can see players that played high school basketball years ago, they come back and watch you play. It does something to the boys because that prepares us for the district tournament as well.
Yeah, you talk about preparing. How many times are you going to see a 7'2" guy? I mean,
nah, not at all.
And the opportunity to get to play him. A lot of people wouldn't want to play him.
No, they wouldn't. And we did it again. We pushed the start of the girls' game was 5:00, boys 6:30, so we could say, hey, we're not going to hold your night up, but we want you to come out and watch some good basketball. To be able to watch a team like that, Innsworth, $7 at the gate to watch a kid that's that's going to probably go to the NBA, whereas tickets is going to probably be $100 and something later on. That's good. I mean, I think last I heard, they're going to commit to like Michigan. So, and then the next night we play Lipscomb Academy, which they have a scorer, Cam Levins, that scored 30 against us, and he's been averaging 30 a game, I think, from what I was told. Great football player. I think he's getting looked at from everybody from Tennessee to Alabama. But that's back-to-back games. So, again, if you're not trying to prepare yourselves for the district tournament to where you play a Blackman on a Friday, you turn around and play a Siegel on a Saturday or something like that or vice versa, it's not helping you out to go out here and schedule teams that just put a basketball team together last year. It's not going to help you.
Wendell Ingram, our guest here on the Prentice Allsup Heating Air Coach's Corner, head coach of the Rockville Rockets. I know you're going to take a few days off here before Christmas, and now what's the plan for after Christmas, and what's been in store for the Rockville Rockets?
We're going to travel to West Tennessee on Friday. We're going to play in a tournament down there, Hub City Classic. Several teams from Memphis, teams that was in the state last year. You're going to see that's going to be down there as well. That's going to prepare us to be able to get a little bit tougher for teams like, your Lavernes, your Oaklands, your Siegels, and Blackmans and Riverdales and things like that. And the way, I've been watching some film on Stewart's Creek as well, which could be a region team that we play against. That's going to prepare us for those type of game speed that they do. They get up and down the court just like we do. We're going to play that one, and then we're going to play at Centennial January 3rd. Laverne January 10th, and then we go to Oakland on January 14th. So, again, I don't know who had my phone when I made the schedule.
I don't know, but I'm really worried about that guy, that schedule maker. Laverne's got a really good team too.
Yes.
So,
and me and Coach Rutland, we text each other all the time, and both of our records are kind of similar. But if you look at who we've been playing, we don't run from nobody. So that's going to be a good game on a Friday night at Laverne. It's going to probably be a packed house. So this is going to get us ready for Oakland. Hopefully we can get out of that game and be 100% ready for Oakland on that 14th.
And the bottom line to all of it is it's how you're playing at tournament time. And teams that can stay healthy and can play well usually have a really good shot. And you did that last year. You made a run last year and the year before. I mean, it's always been you guys seem to play better toward the end of the season. I know that's the goal. Really, is to be playing your best then.
And I tell them that I make some little inside jokes with them. We got guys like Jeff Neal who comes to the games, and so one of the boys the other night said, "Hey, Coach, Mr. Neal is at the door. He wants to talk to you." And I ended my speech with them guys. I said, "Hey, I want to continue our season in March." not going in front of Jeff Neal. I want to go in front of WGNS on Saturdays, because the longer you keep coming here on Saturdays, that means you're still in there. I'm not ready to quit talking to you guys, so I want to talk to y'all guys at least to the third week of March.
That's a good way to see it. Look at it. And final question: I know Christmas is coming. You got all your Christmas shopping done?
Man, so it's this one person gift that I hadn't got yet, and
you want to say who that is?
Man, my wife Tracy, man, she's probably one of the
I didn't think you were going to say that on the air. Okay.
I'm gonna say it, man. But she's my biggest supporter, man. If I don't get her gift, I'm gonna be at this radio station.
There'll be somebody else doing the coach's show.
Yeah, I love her to death, man. But she's my biggest supporter, so I got to take her today. So
you know what you got, you know what you're going to get her, kind of. You got it planned.
I can't get her socks because I got her Mother's Day, I think. So I got to give her something else.
No, I wouldn't give her socks, Coach. You got to come up with a little something better than that.
Yes, sir.
Have a good Christmas, by the way.
You guys too. Merry Christmas to everyone.
All right, that's Coach Ingram, the head coach of the Rockville Rockets. And always good to talk to him. And this portion of the show brought to you by First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. If you're looking for a hometown feel with your bank, turn to the First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, offering full-service banking and mortgage services. We're going to talk Seagull basketball. That's Danny Brewer coming up next.
How about a fix tooth? Donut Country is open 24 hours a day to cure your cravings. They've been serving up the freshest donuts in Murfreesboro since 1978. There's just something different about donuts from Donut Country. Bo and Cindy Davis and their wonderful staff will greet you with a smile, and you'll see all donuts aren't created equal. Fresh donuts anytime you want them, 24/7 at Donut Country on Memorial down from Clark. And they're open each morning on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Check out their Facebook page for specials and promotions. Nothing else compares to Donut Country. Open 24 hours.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The show is brought to you by Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, family owned and operated since 1977. Get the best service with Prentice Allsup Heating and Air online at PrenticeAllsup.com. I'm Danny Brewer. Man, I'm really excited now because I got Matt Rigsby in front of me, the head basketball coach for the Seagull Stars. Coach Rigsby, how are you this morning?
I'm good, DB. How are you?
Yeah, man.
Good?
Outstanding. You know, it's a great time of year. We got, me and we were just talking about the horse racing is exciting today. We got there's a lot of pretty good college football later on today. There's high school basketball tournaments. You guys have been planning one over at Riverdale where I think there's a lot of good teams over there. Yesterday maybe didn't go the way you want. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. You guys, I think, got beat by Franklin.
Tell you what, speaking of Riverdale, if you hear Coach Voss's interview this morning on these same airwaves, he's not lying, folks. He's built a heck of a lineup of boys basketball teams at this thing. And obviously Franklin's one of them. And, we're still trying to find our way a little bit and confusing some things that, maybe we could have some holes we need to clear up. And I was like, shoot, he released his schedule. I don't know if we belong, boys and girls. I was scared because I knew enough about Franklin High School. And we do belong. I mean, we got beat by 4, down 12 in the fourth quarter, clawed it back, had a free throw to go up 1, missed it. They get a bucket. That's what good teams do. And but I think we had a look at a 3 to tie it with about 6 seconds left, maybe. Then got in the foul game well before that, actually. But we battled. I mean, Carter Webb 16 of 16 from the free throw line for 29 points. I said that correctly. 16 of 16.
16 for 16. Because to me, free throw shooting is a little bit of a lost art. I don't know. I know you being a fundamentalist, you work on it, but I don't know how many kids really put a lot of value in free throw shooting like they should.
Well, we changed things up about a year ago, and we don't just shoot free throws in practice. You have to hit an X amount of perfect ones, whether it's before a water break. Hit 3 perfect, as in they cannot hit the rim. They have to be pure, perfect.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net. And so I think that's helped lock their focus in a little bit. Of course, I mean, Carter Webb's been a phenomenal free throw shooter since his freshman year anyway. I think he shot 88% last year.
That's pretty strong.
It was funny. He was like 88.1, and Mac Moss got him. Mac was like 88.3. So that was a running joke we ribbed Carter on. But, I mean, it's like my dad always said, son, they don't call him free for nothing. So
Right.
he could get angry at me, or not angry at me for making a turnover and miss a shot. But if I missed a free throw, I didn't want to ride home with him. He didn't like it.
Well, I'm sure because that was when I coached little kids basketball, that was the same thing that I preached. It's free. It's a free opportunity to get points. Nobody's guarding you. It's just you and the rim. And so I think the importance, and I think oftentimes when you look at games, the team that makes the most free throws usually wins.
Right. And, back to the Franklin game, I mean, they've got a phenomenal post player, and his name's Christian Brown. He's Madison signee. And that was a good matchup for my post player, my 6'10" guy, Lawson Lee. I think he's going to grow from that matchup for sure. He proved strength-wise. He could go toe-to-toe with him. Lawson got behind the 8 ball a little bit early, got in foul trouble. So that hurt us early. And, I was looking at the box score a while ago. I mean, we only put up 9 in the first quarter, and then 22 in the second, like 18 in the third, 17 in the fourth. So, I mean, we dug ourselves a little bit of a hole early.
Right.
And I don't know if it's a 10 a.m. time funky game type deal, maybe my warm-up routine's wrong. Maybe it's my fault. I don't know. But we didn't really get out of the gate the way we should have, so that hurt us. But, again, I had the rest of my day to go do some Christmas shopping and think about it, and I wasn't mad at all. Our kids back. I was very proud of them for it.
Very good. When you talk about post play, that's another thing that's a little bit different in today's game. Lots of teams don't have post play. I mean, so when you expose to that, it obviously makes it a little bit different.
And it's kind of odd. The bigs are coming back. Warren County, we had a nice win at Warren County the other night, down 12 again, which that's a trend I've got to stamp out. I'm tired of that.
Right.
They've got a really nice post player. We played Grundy County tonight. I've seen them live. They've got a nice post player in there, number 33 kid. What Blackman's got? They've got 2 really solid bigs. So maybe it's coming back.
Well, I'm an old school guy. I think that the game goes inside out. You work inside and you develop your inside game. I think that's kind of one of the keys, and it's kind of been a little bit lost here lately. People are too enamored with the three-pointer. Of course, three-pointer is good too, but you mentioned 6'10", so you've got a post player then.
Correct, Lawson Lee. I was able to talk about him last time, and he deserves the mention, of course. And we're kind of at an impasse right now offensively, and I told our guys this. Lawson, on the year going into yesterday, I keep wanting to say last night, we played at 10 a.m., is leading us statistically in threes made and three-point field goal percentage. So that's a great problem to have when your big can step out. And it is a problem to have, too, where, we still need him around the rim, play with his back to the basket and make his post moves because he's very skilled. And but, again, if you can be a dual threat like that, we're still going to let him shoot them.
That's kind of the way of the game these days anyway, is if you have a big who can shoot, you let him shoot.
Yeah, well, there's bigs and there's skilled bigs. And Lawson's got a lot of ball skill about him. He's had just such a phenomenal summer, really working, weight room included, but, working on his ball skill and his shot. And it's paying off for him for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about Carter Webb. You mentioned him, 16 for 16 from the free throw line. Talk about what he has done, because he had a really, really good year last year. Talk about what he's done so far this year.
Well, he's playing phenomenal. Again, put up 29 yesterday, of course, but he's been a little passive offensively, and I know why, because he's a very unselfish basketball player. Again, I mentioned Mac Moss before. Well, Mac's graduated. There's no true one. Well, he is our true point guard. So, in his mind, it is his job to get everybody else involved, and he does a great job of that. That was Franklin's whole game plan, was as soon as he crosses the timeline, send a runner at him. And they're double teaming him to make him give it up. And 9 times out of 10, he makes the right decisions. He's heady, crafty, but the Siegel Stars still need him to score the ball too. You got Dorian Lyles averaging 12 or 13, Lawson Lee averaging 12-ish, whatever. James Ruffner, another senior. Can't get out of here without mentioning his name. He's put the last 3 or 4 basketball games, I mean, just solid, especially defensively. But he's probably getting 7 or 8 for us a game these last several games. And some of that's Carter Webb finding the guys in the right spots and distributing the ball. But we still need Carter, to find his shots too.
Right. So it sounds like you've got some piece to the puzzle, Coach. With size, you got Webb who can score. You've got some of these other kids who will embrace their roles, and that's important when to have a good basketball team is kids embracing their roles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another senior, Matthew Rice, number 11 for us. He's a football kid, but he's been with us for 4 years now. He's a 4-year basketball player at Siegel. True role guy. Arguably our best rebounder on the team. Takes care of the basketball for us. He finds the Dorians. He finds the Carters. He doesn't care if he scores 1 or 10. Matthew's just a team guy. He understands his role.
So, Coach, you mentioned tonight, I know you played tonight a little bit, kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, 10 a.m. yesterday, 8:30 p.m. tonight. So talk a little bit about what you want to see tonight from the Siegel Stars.
Well, can you rebound off a tough loss? I mean, in their minds, they want to win. So in their minds, it's a tough loss. Again, I can take, it's still just December, putting my coaching hat on, I can say, guys, here's all the positives we can take away from this. I mean, Franklin can beat any team in our district. And that's no slight, please, to no team in our district.
Right.
They're a quality basketball team. And we can take how you battled back from 12, how you had a little adversity with foul trouble early, and had a chance, and you were right there. And I can show you on film 3 possessions, just 3.
Right.
That could get you the win if things go differently, And so I want them to take that going into tonight. Again, as a positive, it's hard to as a player. You're a competitor. You're an athlete. Dadgummit, we should have won yesterday. But, we got to move on.
So it sounds like you've got good competitive spirit amongst your team, which is also a very plus, big-time plus.
There's no aspect of character I would ever say negatively about this bunch. They play well together. They appreciate each other. They love each other. They're great with each other. Again, they share the ball, distribute the ball very well. It's just a great group. I love my guys.
So, Coach, sounds like you've had a pretty challenging schedule to this point, and that can be good news as you get ready for district play after the first of the year.
Yeah, I mean, we won 25 games last year, and with a very tough schedule too, mind you. But I don't ever go into a season saying we're going to win. We're going 30-0. Okay, all right. If we do, fantastic. But we try to schedule up. We try to, to a tough schedule to get us ready for a tough district.
Coach, so let's talk about the holidays here. I know you play tonight. What's on tap after tonight?
Speaking of tough scheduling, we go to Laverne to play, I think it's called a blackout, a Christmas classic type deal. We play Cedar Grove, Georgia, the 28th. It's 27th and 28th. Yes, the 27th, we play Cedar Grove, Georgia. They've got a kid that just got offered from Indiana and Cincinnati, so that's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then we play McCallie out of Chattanooga. That's going to be another tough test for us.
So anything that's on the Christmas list for Siegel basketball, I mean, something that you want to see your guys kind of open up and get as you head into the new year?
Oh, it's healthy, always. Santa, keep us healthy, please, always.
Well, health is one of the keys because, obviously, I know that you only have a certain number of kids on the roster, and you want to keep the good player. Well, you want to keep all of them healthy.
Truly answer your question. I mean, we've got to shoot the 3 ball better. You mentioned, shooting the 3 early. Statistically, we've just not been great. Outside of Lawson, and that's a great problem to have. But we've got to shoot the 3 ball better.
Because, in essence, that is what drives a lot of the game in this day and age.
100% correct. And if you're not an outside threat, then how are we going to get the ball into the 6-10?
Right on, brother. Right on. Yeah. It's simple math when it comes to that. As far as like we talked about inside out kind of thing. If you can shoot outside, then it's easier to get the ball inside.
Of course.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck tonight and throughout the rest of the season. Matt Rigsby, Siegel Stars, doing great things.
Danny, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. Find out more at craigstaxservice.com.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is by Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin, who will work with you to develop a complete, tailored strategy to help you achieve your financial goals. That's Edward Jones, financial advisor Lee Colvin. I'm Danny Brewer. I'm super excited this morning because we've got Eagleville head basketball coach David McLaren on the line. Coach McLaren, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no, happy to do it. I mean, because, Coach, whether you realize this or not, man, you're like a staple of Rutherford County boys basketball here. I mean, you've been around a while. Eagleville graduate, am I correct about that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because we've talked about that before. So so you're kind of like you're some of the heritage of this county in basketball. So no, we're super happy to have you on. I know that you had a really, really big win last night. So let's talk a little bit about that first to get things rolling.
Yes, sir. We traveled to Richland last night. Played Richland. They're a really, really good basketball team. They're solid in just about every position, and they returned 4 starters from last year. We had to beat them on the last second shot last year in the region semifinals. We returned 4 starters, so basically you had pretty much the same 2 teams out there on the floor competing last night. It was an emotional game. Obviously, they were, looking for revenge, and we've been playing well leading up to this game. So it was a really good test for us playing on the road. We've only played 3 games at home this year so far, so we've got a bunch of road warriors right now, and it fit up to the billing of the game, and our boys really played well and pulled away late and ended up getting a 20-point win, but it was definitely a hard-fought game.
So winning by 20 on the road, I mean, that's huge when you think about years ago. I interviewed Al McGuire. He won national champion with Marquette in '77. But Al McGuire told me his greatest thrill in coaching was very simple: winning on the road. So when you go down there and you beat them by 20 at their place, got to be good for your kids in many, many ways.
Yeah, we've shown a lot of growth in a year's worth of time. These guys have put in a lot of work. Our growth showed last night. We were able to put them away, something that we've been winning some games this year, but last night was one of the was a turning point for us. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going. We got a lead early in halftime. We were up 8, and we just kept extending the lead. And defensively we have played well this year. That's been our staple. And offensively, we're putting 3 people, sometimes 4 in double digits every night, and those are not the same 3. So that's also a strength. We had really 2 players last night that normally come off the bench. We're down a starter right now, so that was impressive as well. But 2 kids that came off the bench, one had 16, one had 12, and that's another strength. We're 8 solid, sometimes 9, and we're definitely the definition of a team. We got a lot of guys that are capable of putting 20 points up every night, but that wouldn't make us the team we are if they were averaging that. We've got multiple guys that put up double digits, and you just can't focus on one. So that is definitely our strength right now.
When you can diversify offensively, it makes you so tough to defend and so tough to game plan, especially if you've got kids coming off the bench. So was that Owen McLaren was one of them, right? He had 12, I think, and then
Adrian.
Yeah. is Severi? Is that how you say his last name?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So he had 16. So off the bench, getting 28 points from 2 kids off the bench. Man, that's huge, Coach.
Yeah, and we had another one hit a 3. So really, we had 31 off the bench, and I would like to say that I'm surprised, but that really would be a lie. I mean, these kids are very, very capable. We've seen them in JV all last year. They would, they'd probably be starters on a lot of other teams in our area, and that's just, credit to a couple things. One, the depth of our team, but 2, them accepting their role and playing it to the max. They play as hard as they can in the minutes they get. They know they're going to be on the floor, and so they're ready. And it's just such a luxury as a coach to know when you go to the bench. In some areas you get stronger, and some areas you may drop off in size, but you don't drop off in effort and skill set. So that is something that for the Eagleville fans and for our team, I don't think anybody was like, oh, he's having a great night tonight. He's just playing ball, and so that's what I felt like we got out of those bench players last night.
Coach, when you think about as you move toward the turn of the year and district play and all that stuff, good right now that you're able to get kids minutes on the floor and doing those things, because when it comes as the season wears on, you never know what's going to happen as far as injury or a kid gets in foul trouble, whatever. So good to build your depth right now.
Yeah, it's taken me a long time. I've been around for quite a while, and it's hard sometimes to think that you can play without certain people on the floor. But all these kids work hard every day, and you put them out there and you watch them grow, and you challenge them, and practices have been great. So sometimes you just throw them out there and let them prove what they can do, and that's what this group has done. And these work all year long. I'm very fortunate that we got a group that at a small school, sometimes you'll have a group that plays sports and their main sport may be football, or maybe basketball, maybe baseball, and it goes in waves. And this year we've got a group that their main sport is basketball, and they dedicate a lot of time to that skill set. And I'm very lucky as a coach to have kids that love it as much as I do.
Coach, what's your record right now?
We are 9-1.
9-1. That's pretty impressive when you think about winning 9 out of games, especially when you've had the schedule. Because I know you've played some schools like Riverdale and Central and some of those guys too, and you've been all.
We have, and we also, Friendship Christian. They're a private school. They beat several 4A schools. We played Pickett County, who at the time was a top 5 team in the state. They're projected to make it back to Murfreesboro. We've played Santa Fe, who was at the state tournament, and they graduated one player last year that was a every player's a factor, but when you look at the stats, he didn't even average, probably 4 points a game. So they replaced him. So they're virtually the same team. So we've really had a very challenging schedule. And, according to BCAT, the Basketball Coaches Association, Santa Fe was like number 3 and Richland was number 5 and in the state, voted on by the coaches. So we've really had to beef up our schedule. And, so far our guys have just been extremely locked in. And we like to say lock in. That's one of our phrases. They've been locked in, and they've just played, really good basketball. And, they're just students of the game. They're taking the scouts really good, and they each day they take the criticism like they're supposed to, and they grow, and film sessions and all that. So just couldn't be more pleased at where we're at right now. We just want to continue to grow.
Oh yeah, I mean 9 for 10. That's pretty doggone, especially when you consider the depth of the schedule. Now, when you because you guys have been pretty good over the last few years, when you looked at this year, the scheduling was you did this on purpose, right? You want to play tough before you get into the district play.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of growth without failure sometimes. So, and you also want to be tested because, these guys, they don't back down to a challenge, and you don't gain anything by playing opponents that you should win. And so we've beefed up the schedule in that aspect, and the girls too. So both boys and girls me and Coach Lynch decided this year we should go on out there and challenge them, and it makes for good memories, and getting out there and being the underdog a lot of times is fun as an athlete. And the guys have they just go one game at a time, and when you're young you feel invincible, so they don't really pay attention a lot to who should win or not. They go out there expecting to win every night.
Well, Coach, I'm a big horse racing guy, and one of the things years ago I asked Carl Nasser, he won 2 Kentucky Derbies. I said, Coach, I said, Carl, I said, has the odds ever determined the outcome of a horse race? And he said, well, no, son. And I said, well, what makes you think that, Carl? He said, because horses can't read. So you got to, and I was like, right on, Carl. So you got kids, they're not looking at anything other than they go out there and expect to win every night.
They do, and they approach each practice, with the intent of getting better and winning. So, our one loss we had was to Webb School, and that was early in the year, and we wasn't playing very well at the time. It was only our second game of the year, and I feel like we've cleaned a lot of things up since then. I'm not saying that we could go back and win, but I would like to think that we could go back and with the improvements that we've had to this point, make it even better game. We lost by 8 and missed 11 free throws. So, sometimes you beat yourself, but you don't beat yourself up. You just say, okay, we missed our opportunities, and I think we learned from that. We've done better on the free throw line. We've done better, with our approach to how we want to win each game, and just really proud of our growth.
Coach, anything you got on? I know things have been pretty good, but anything you got on the Christmas list as we look toward the New Year's, or anything that you would like? When I say Christmas list for your team, what do you want to see? I mean, you need to see better free throw shooting. It sounds like you've been doing things pretty good. What's got on the Christmas list?
Yeah, one thing that I would like for us to, obviously rebounding. We give up some size. We're extremely big, so. We want to get rebound. We want to be stingy. We want to finish the play, have a one-shot mentality. And last night I think we gave up 13 points on offensive boards, and you do that, and they don't even make it out of the 30s. A really good offensive team. So we work extremely hard to limit the take away what makes the other team click offensively. And then you just have to clean up the play. So we still got to work on our defensive rebound and clean up, those boards. And then, I'm super picky, but just, sharing the ball. Even, we do have different guys every night. Just continue to work on that. It's been a huge improvement this year. And, you just can't preach teamwork enough. And I stay on them all the time about that, and I'm just very pleased at that. We go down to Loretta for a Christmas tournament. We'll play 4A school right off the bat, Lincoln County, and then we'll get either Wayne County, who's another top 10 team in the state in single A, or Marshall County, who's a 3A school. So and then we'll play someone else from another bracket that's very capable of beating us. So we just continue to look forward and not be satisfied with the past, and just stay hungry.
Well, that's why you're 9-1 right now, Coach. Coach David McLaren, Eagleville, doing some great things. If you want to see good basketball, head over there to Eagleville. They got a great facility, and they got a good product on the floor. Coach, we appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck, and happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you as well.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Las Casas Feed Supply, locally owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, specializing in animal feeds, premium pet foods, farm supplies, and more.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
I'm Ian Young. I'm at Las Casas Feed Supply. I'm selling beef and pork, 100% Angus, raised here in Las Casas. Come get you some.
Everyone's favorite cuts available, even options to purchase a quarter of a steer.
We got the beef. Hello, everybody. Las Casas Feed Supply.
Family owned and operated Las Casas Feed Supply on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East.
Market declines,
The Prentice also
unemployment.
Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Welcome back. This is the Cougar Corner. I'm Danny Brewer. I'm super pleased now to be joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School head boys basketball coach Greg Eubanks. Coach Eubanks, how are you this morning?
Well, good morning, Danny. I'm doing fantastic. I'm trying to stay warm because there's been a cold front come through, and it is chilly out there today. And it was really windy yesterday, too. So I hope you're staying warm today.
Well, I'm trying to, Coach. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been engaging in cold water therapy here recently. I've kind of been inspired by this young kid that I met, and the cold water therapy. I engaged in that this morning. Got in the swimming pool. I'm not sure what the water temperature was. I'd say it was probably in the 40s. So but I wasn't in there a whole long time. I can tell you that for sure.
It'll wake you up, won't it?
Yes, sir. I didn't need any coffee this morning, so I was wide awake when it come time to go to the station. That's for sure.
That's fantastic. I've done a little bit of that. I know that when I've done it in the past, it's a great recovery tool, and we're trying to really encourage our boys to do that because we have 7 out of 8. This is the second Saturday in a row, but 7 out of 8 Saturdays we have Friday night games and Saturday night games. And so we're trying to do some recovery type things so we can get to go back to back. And so that's really interesting. But I think that's kind of that thing that's kind of an old thing that is coming around now. People are seeing the health benefits of that. So anyway, but we had a busy time, and like I said, we have 7 out of 8 Saturdays where we've had Saturday games and with a Friday night game before. And so it's great to be playing basketball, especially on Christmas time. We just had exams this week, so we had 4 days of practice, and then the kids just had half days of school, so it was kind of nice to get home a little bit earlier than what we're used to. And then we played last night in a special event over at Franklin Road Academy. We played Marshall County, which is Lewisburg, and just started off slow, honestly, and we got some young guys that were playing and inexperienced guys that are playing, and they're learning what it takes to play and compete against bigger people, and that's the challenge that we have last night. The challenge we're going to have every night, because we got guys who haven't played a whole lot of basketball, even if they're sophomores or juniors, and then we have a couple of 8th graders who are doing fantastic. And Jere Tyler is leading us in scoring right now. He had 23 points last night. Mac Harvey, who's a senior, really came through last night. He had 26 points last night. We lost to Marshall County 81-74. So defense and rebounding is our biggest challenge. We're giving up a lot of points, but we're scoring a lot of points. So we actually had some T-shirts made right before the season started. And like from the movie Gladiator, we asked the question, are you not entertained? And so we're playing a fun style, and we're playing a fast-paced style, and we're just trying to take advantage of what we can, but make sure that we're having a good time and scoring as many points as possible. We really are trying to encourage to shoot 3-pointers, because with the sizes that we have, it just doesn't make sense for us to attack the basket very much. It's, if the defense is back and set, and so that's fun to watch too. Last Saturday we played Nashville Christian and defeated them, but we made 16 threes in that game. So we've got some kids that shoot. We spent a lot of time in practice shooting, and we actually took 53 threes. So our percentage was around 35% or so. And so we kind of taken the philosophy that we're gonna shoot threes, and shooting the three gives us a chance to score, as opposed to a turnover. It does not give us a chance to score. We also get a chance for a second shot, and so it's fun style to play, and we kick it out and try to shoot as many threes as possible because we think that gives us the best chance to win. So we're having a good time. And over this Christmas break, we have 8 games over the Christmas break from the time school starting last night. And so we're allowed to play 24 games in a season. And so that's a third of our schedule is going to happen when we don't have class. So I told the boys, I said, now, you're like professional basketball players now. And the fact that, there's no school and we can set our practice time whenever we want to practice. A lot of times we like to practice early in the morning, so we have the rest of the day to recover and get ready and still enjoy being a teenager and doing those things that teenagers do. And so, but we have a third of our schedules happening here during the Christmas break. So it's a different Christmas break from normal teachers and different Christmas break from students, but it's a great chance to get better and play. And when we come back after the break, we'll be hitting district games and playing almost all district games for the rest of the year.
Coach Eubanks, you sound like to me, man, you're like a shooting guy's dream. I mean, because that's me. If you're encouraging me to jack it up, man, because that was my thing when I played. I never met a shot I didn't like. So you encourage kids to jack it up. That's what you want them to do, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got some guys that have really worked hard on their shooting, and we encourage them to shoot it. And we think that's our best chance to score and to be able to score quickly and score as many points as possible. So we're averaging about 11 3. Last night we made 9, and that's the lowest that we've made in a game this year. So we're averaging about 11 threes a game made per game. And so what's that? I was talking to my friend who coaches at Nashville Christian, and so we just kind of like, what do you know about our team? What do you know about their team? And so we're just helping each other. He said, well, we know you're going to shoot a lot of threes. And I said, well, if that's our reputation, then what that automatically means is other coaches are going to say, hey, we got to get out there and guard them. We got to get out there and guard them. And so that's going to open up backdoor opportunities, and that's going to open up driving opportunities and just spreading the whole defense out. So it's sort of like in football when you run a spread offense, and if you have to defend against the spread, it opens up the running game. Auburn a couple of years ago in football, they talked about how they had a spread offense. Actually, they were leading the SEC in rushing because they were able to spread out and spread the defenses out. So anyway, that's what we're trying to accomplish. And last night we had a couple of really nice backdoor cuts. And the kids are starting to figure out the spacing that we're trying to create on offense and the opportunities that we have to have backdoor cuts. So, yeah, that's what I think. I think if I was a kid playing for, we always ask, if I'm a coach, would I want to play for me, right? And so I'm trying to be the type of coach that I'd love to be able to shoot the ball and green light, and we're never going to yell at you for that. And sometimes we might suggest, hey, you might want to wait a little bit, but we want our guys who are the better shooters to take most of the shots. And so like last night, Mac Harvey was really good, and Dre was really good for threes. And we just got to, continue to work at it and make sure the shots we're taking are on balance. Earlier in the year, we were taking some really bad shots, and we're starting to figure out what it is. And guys are starting to figure out what's a good shot for them. And so, we switched to like a numbered break where we want guys running to specific spots on the floor. And so that's the shots we practice, and that's the shots we practice in practice. And so they're familiar with it and how they're going to get the ball. So when they're shooting in practice, we do a lot of movement before we shoot. So we kind of I've changed a different philosophy of what I've done in the past. But we do a lot of movement before we shoot and get quality reps, as opposed to necessarily just how many shots can we get up in a minute or something like that. So, but it's good, and we're getting better, and we're improving every single game and every single day. And so that's exciting to see, because we have so many young kids that are learning how to play.
Coach, I haven't seen you play, but what it sounds like is this orchestrated chaos. And if I'm an old school guy, I don't know if you remember this or not, but Loyola Marymount, a coach named Paul Westhead. He had some guys, Bo Kimball, Hank Gathers. They made a really nice run in the NCAA tournament one year, but it was all about orchestrated chaos where they put guys in positions to score, and they scored.
Yeah, and actually, that's kind of what when I looked at our roster back in June, and I thought, okay, well, this is who we got, and we're not very big, but we're quick, and we got some guys that can shoot. I really spent a lot of the summer studying Loyola Marymount and going back and watching those old games. And in addition, I spent a lot of time over at Lipscomb. Lenny Acuff has been, and I played at Lipscomb a long time ago, and Lenny Acuff has been fantastic just to let me study and a lot of practices there. And then also Casey Alexander is a really good friend of mine over at Belmont, and so we attend Belmont practices just to pick up things that they're doing. And then we went to Alabama because there's a coach down there in North Alabama who's been running the system. It's called the system, the Paul Westhead system, and he's been running it since the late 80s, early 90s. And so that's really what we're trying to do, is trying to replicate that. And it gives us a chance to play a different style. And so, Lenny Acuff over at Lipscomb describes it as you got to be a curveball team and a fastball league. And so if everybody in our league is playing a certain way, and I was able to watch BGA and FRA a little bit last night. We've already played USN and Columbia Academy, and we know a lot about that rival school that's on the other end of Murfreesboro Airport. And so we know that we can't match up with them man for man. And so we're trying to be a curveball and do things differently that gives us the best chance to win. And so that's why we think playing fast is the way to do it, and to try to. But again, like our challenge is we're trying to figure out defensively what we're doing. So last night we did some different things, and that may be the key to what we're doing it. But we got 7 more games to figure out before we come back to school to figure out how we're going to make this happen, and figure out how we're going to defend and rebound. But yeah, Loyola Marymount is something that's something we've studied a lot this summer, and we do a lot of practicing that. We do a lot of we dribble down on a break instead of going all the way to the basket. We really work on getting our feet underneath us and shooting a three. And then if a guy's 6'10" and a guy's 6 foot, if we're both running down the floor, our chances of an offensive rebound are better in transition than if we're just trying to set up. So the old book, Malcolm Gladwell wrote the book about David and Goliath. And in that book, he talks about how David had an advantage over Goliath in the old Bible story, and that David was faster, and David took advantage of the things that he could do compared to Goliath. So Goliath wanted to do a one-on-one with a spear and a sword and armor and those type of fights. And David said, well, we're going to fight this way. I'm going to run at you, and I'm going to hit you with a slingshot, right? And so we're trying to beat David and play fast and hit you with a slingshot, as opposed to just doing something where we're going to try to post you up or play guard you in a traditional type of way. So we're just looking for different ways to do things and take advantage of our athletic ability and take advantage of the things that we're good at.
Coach, I absolutely applaud you for the curveball approach, because the whole thing is if you've got a square peg, you can't try to put it in a round hole. And for those who are listening, we did not talk about Loyola Marymount before we got on air, so I'm kind of really proud that I kind of pulled that one out, and you said yes, and we're kind of on the same page with that. That's really cool.
Good. That's pretty good. Yeah, we're on the same page. Great minds think alike. So,
all right. Well, I don't know. This may be the only time today I'm called a great mind, but I appreciate that, Coach. Now let's talk a little bit about. You mentioned 8th graders, because I know when you're at a smaller school, sometimes you have to pull up kids in order. And of course, if they're quality, then that's what you do. So tell me a little bit about these 8th graders that you're cultivating right now.
Yeah. So since we're a school that's within the same building and the same structure, we can pull up 8th graders, and that's true for public schools and for private schools. But you have to be in the same, to be in the same building and the same system. So a lot of times, some smaller schools smaller communities where with the schools all in one place, even if it's a public school, they can pull kids up. But Dre Tyler is a boy that he's special. He is special. He can do things with the ball that eighth graders shouldn't be able to do, and he's got a deep range on his shot. And the best thing Dre's done for us is he has the ability to really get to the basket, and he draws fouls, and a lot of his points come from the free throw line because of his ball handling, and he's learning how to distribute the ball to different people, and it's just really, he's our starting point guard, and he's mature beyond his years, and just so excited for what he is here, but also just what he is as a person. And he just loves basketball, and he plays basketball, and he's got a great family behind him and that completely support him, and we're just so grateful that he's part of our program, and so he's different, right? So as a coach, I'm learning how to, how do I take advantage of what Dre can do, and trying to figure out that if I can figure out his game and how to put him in the best position possible to be successful. But so against Webb Bell Buckle 2 weeks ago, he had 25 points, and then he had 17 points last Friday, and he had 15 points against Nashville Christian, and then last night he had 23. And so last night was the first night he hadn't led our team in scoring. And so, but he can really handle a ball, and then also he had a couple of really deep threes last night. Again, people are like, wow, why you let him take that shot? Well, I've seen him make it in practice, and I've rebounded for him in practice where he's making shots from 30 or so feet out. And we have a machine at our school that tells us, how far to the left or right the shot misses. And there was a time back in the spring, I think, or maybe in the summer, where I was rebounding for him, and he was shooting 30, 35 footers, and he was not off. He was off by 1 degree, either to left or right. And so it tells me he's got the ability to shoot that deep and keep it straight. So, but Dre's been doing a fantastic job. And then the other eighth grader we have is Noah Owens, and Noah is a really good shooter, and he is really coming to his own, and he is adjusting to high school play, but I don't know how Noah was able to do it, because Noah's probably about 5'6", 5'7" maybe, but he does have the ability to score at the basket and over other people. He's just adapted, and that's really going to serve him well as he's going to grow into his body. 6'4", 6'5", so we anticipate Noah to grow into like 6 foot or higher than 6 foot, and Noah just has a fantastic family also, and so but he saved us against Webb Bell Buckle 2 weeks ago, because in the first quarter we couldn't score, nobody could hit a shot, and we really struggled offensively, and Noah came in the game and made a couple of threes and took the ball to the basket and really, really played well in that game. And so just really proud of those guys, and we're excited about the future, because there's another eighth grader who's practicing with us, but he's ineligible to play, and his name's Carter Scroggins, and he's going to be a really good player. We're just grateful he's able to practice with us this year. And then there's another eighth grader, Darius Dixon, who's a fantastic athlete. And so all of those guys will be ninth graders next year. And so, we're excited about building the future. We're just continuing to stay positive and take every opportunity we can to learn and try to take advantage of every possession that we have and every opportunity we have to play to figure out how to get better and continue to work towards that. So we're excited about our upcoming freshman class, that 2 of them are already playing high school, and then those other 2 guys, and there's a couple other guys on the 8th grade team now who are going to be who'll be able to help us next year too.
Sounds like the future's awfully bright. I think that if I'm going to encourage everyone to go over to Middle Tennessee Christian School, because I feel like you will be entertained. Coach Greg Eubanks, we appreciate your time. We certainly wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you very much. We'll keep shooting it, and I promise you, if you're not entertained, I'll give you your money back.
There you go. All right. You heard it here first. Coach Greg Eubanks, appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
It's MTCS Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
On FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Welcome back here on MTCS Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, our friends at TOA, wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Let's take a look at the MTCS Cougar Corner scoreboard, and we'll actually go back to last Saturday to take a look at a few things. It's been kind of a light week, I guess, right here before Christmas, but in basketball, Nashville Christian falls to the MTCS boys JV 70-63. Girls varsity dropped a close game 48-43 to Nashville Christian as well. And the varsity boys 70-58 victory over Nashville Christian. So a nice Saturday for the Cougars there. The competitive cheer, middle school, elementary, they have been busy at Top at the Rock this week. And we had a little swimming as well that took place, middle school and varsity as well. Marshall County defeated MTCS boys 83-74 last night. So that is a look at the scoreboard. What's coming up here? Well, later today, just few minutes, I guess here it looks like, Franklin Christian Academy will be hosting the boys JV. Then we'll have girls at 2 o'clock, boys at 3:30 at Franklin Christian Academy in basketball. Then a break for the holidays, and right after Christmas on the 27th, the girls varsity will play at Cornersville. Boys will be playing at Perry County, both of those games on Friday at different locations there in the Loretto tournament for the boys. Girls will play Santa Fe on Saturday, next Saturday, a week from today, and the boys continue in that Loretto tournament. Then that takes us all the way to January 3rd when it's back into district play with FRA, Franklin Road Academy. Well, that is a look ahead at the schedule as well for the MTCS Cougars, and that is going to wrap up our conversation here this morning. And do want to say congrats to Nicole Burks, the volleyball coach of the year. So that's a big accomplishment for her as well. That will wrap up our conversation here on Cougar Corner this morning and for the year. But don't fret, we'll be back in the new year after a couple of weeks. So we've got the holiday break coming up here. Hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas and Happy New Year, kicking it off right if you're in the gym with basketball, all right? So that'll be good to see. Thanks so much for my co-host this morning, John Dinkins and Danny Brewer. Also want to thank Bill Hockenberry, who's helped out some this year and is going to be helping us with some basketball coming up in January as well. Just appreciate Dalton Barrett as well, our producer every Saturday morning. It's a 3-hour extravaganza that we put on each Saturday with the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner and Cougar Corner. We thank all the people involved in that, and to all of our sponsors. When you hear their commercials on the air, we don't take that for granted. They're supporting what we're trying to do here, and they're supporting local high school athletics. And the ask is support them if you can. Even if you can't right now and can send them a note of appreciation, like our friends at TOA who helped present Cougar Corner here, it would be very much appreciated. Well, again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Couple of Saturdays off. Enjoy your Christmas break, and we'll see you back in 2025 for another edition of MTCS Cougar Corner.
Because my brother Christopher and I were both getting ready to go off to college, and we didn't really have those funds set up because we weren't expecting this to just happen. No one was expecting him to just do what he did. So my brother and I immediately just started looking for scholarships and things like that once we got